Good morning, 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 everybody. I hope you're doing so well. It's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody's like just loving life. Yeah, and y'all can tell by the music that we just, you know what I'm saying?
West Coast Wednesday.
Yeah, it's West Coast Wednesday. Okay, just tell us right now then. It's West Coast Wednesday for real. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute after the 9 o'clock hour. Good morning to Central Standard Time. It is 7:01 Pacific Standard Time. It is 10:01 Eastern Standard Time. But it's good morning all over America. But it's good afternoon, it is good evening, and it is good night around the world. Welcome to Wide Open. We are locked in for the next 3 hours. I hope you all are doing well. Listen, it's roll call.
Roll call.
Where you from? Where you at? Where you from? Where you at? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you at? Hey, shout out to 161 early birds that are already inside of the chat. Johannesburg, South Africa's already in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in.
South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa's in the building. South Africa been in the building though. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like they haven't been. Bloomington, Minnesota's in the building.
What up, though?
Waco, Texas is in the building. Winnipeg, Canada is in the building. New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Oh, it's popping. Philly in the house. Leigh, England is in the house, or Lee, England is in the house. Madison, Wisconsin. Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, it's going too fast. Edinburgh, Texas. Thornwell, Louisiana. What? Kansas City. Addison was fun. Gabrielle already taking some. What's going on? Trinidad and Tobago aligned with East Coast Eastern Standard Time now. Okay, great. Lima, Ohio's in the house. Jamaica. Joliet, Illinois. Austell, Georgia. Never heard of it. Columbia, South Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina. Baldwin Park, California. My people right there.
What up, though?
Culpeper, Virginia. Tulsa, Virginia Beach. Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Whoa.
Have you ever heard of Sicklerville? Juliana, have you ever heard of Sicklerville? Sicklerville?
No.
Wow. It's in New Jersey. Might be a...
What county?
What county?
Yeah.
Are you... Sick County.
Go ahead.
Infirmed County.
No.
Okay.
I'm only Bergen County, Passaic County.
You're Jersey? I was
I'm
Mercer
from
County.
Jersey. Yeah, Bergen County. Where all the Latinos were.
Latinos, what up?
I was in between Trenton and Princeton.
Oh, yeah, you're
which
far.
is literally like middle class. Because I was like the poor person near Princeton University. They're like, did you go to Princeton? I was like, ooh, no. I stole food from there sometimes.
Well, there you go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Jersey rips.
Hey,
I love Jersey.
Stephanie
Jersey
Valderrama, American Airlines Credit Union representing.
Oh, she's at the Halle.
But let me say though, I have an American Airlines credit card. So Stephanie and
So do I.
and all my miles are with American. I have over 1 million miles with American. I think I have over I almost got 1.2 miles if I don't have 1.2 million miles.
I'm still in boarding group 3, baby.
It's okay.
That's all right. We're getting there.
It's all good.
Although I think after March I get bumped back to boarding group 4 because I didn't get enough miles last year.
Shout out Holy Spirit Airlines and Frontiers.
Yo, Americans.
Frontiers is hilarious.
Americans
Catch me.
They're not messing around anymore with boarding. They have these new buzzers that go off if you try to board early. Because here's what I used to do.
They get shamed. Did they shame you back into your line?
I would always board with group 1 because, manifest that life you want. But I would always get away with it because I was just, everyone's kind of just like, mean and grumpy.
Yeah.
And so all I would do is I would go up and I would just go, hey, how's it going? And they would be so excited that someone was talking to them and being nice that they were like, have a good flight, even when they saw it wasn't the right thing.
Yeah.
And I would always get let on. But now, American, no more. They have a buzzer that goes off.
Oh.
So if my group 3 ass goes up in group 1, it's and then everyone looks at you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
I did not know that was going to be a thing.
It's some Les Mis class war stuff.
Class war is hilarious. Hey, listen, Jamie Kilstein's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, Jamie?
For our entire first hour, we got to talk about last night. We got to talk about the recap on the comedy show last night. The Beyond Belief tour has started. It is active.
I think we can be honest about it too, and I think we can say it went way better than we thought. Not that we thought it would go bad, but also this was like wildest dreams.
No. It was so dope.
Yeah.
We're gonna get all that. We're gonna get into all that in a minute. I want to make sure everybody has checked in. Shout out to 470 people that's already in the live chat. It's a beautiful thing. St. Pete, Florida's in the house. Houston, Texas in the house. Camilla, we need you to come through tonight. Whoever, Jamie and I are coming to Houston, Texas tonight. We will be in Houston tonight, 7:30, Houston Improv.
Call your friends, make a road trip.
Come through.
Because artists are fragile. We could do this whole show about last night was, dreams coming true. One of the best nights of Tim in my life. If Houston is like, man, tonight, I'm back to I quit comedy. This is the art form that ruined me. No more.
My goodness. I'm going to be the total opposite. Last night was so dope that I'll just be like, you guys are not as good as Addison is.
Oh, good. Yeah, Houston. I'm sure there's some Houston, Dallas riffs that I don't know about because I live in Austin where everyone's too high to pay attention.
Yep.
If there is a beef between Houston and Dallas, Houston, you got to step it up tonight. Even if you are smaller in numbers, you can be better than Dallas.
Absolutely.
Right? Houston, I feel like I've always liked Houston more. I feel like Houston has more flavor than them. I feel like Dallas, it's a lot of just like rich white oil guys. Don't love it. Houston, step up.
You think that? Well, I can't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
I actually can't. Maybe I want to, but I can't.
The crowd last night wasn't.
Yeah.
The crowd last night was phenomenal.
The crowd last night was stupendous.
Dude.
Like the whole vibe was just excellent.
Yeah.
Like from beginning to end. All right. So let's talk about it.
Sure.
Like, shout out to everybody. I hope you guys are good. And somebody said, what happened to the volume?
I turned it down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm just double checking. We got
Okay.
Hector indisposed right now, so we're just trying to just do everything right now and in real time. Love y'all. It sounds great. It sounds great. I got it in my ear. We good.
Yeah, they Hector's in the other room. He's not dead.
He survives.
But everybody's saying that the volume went down overall, I guess.
I'm listening to it in my ear on my AirPod, like right here.
Yeah.
It sounds good to me.
Okay, maybe y'all should just turn y'all's up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I just listened to the YouTube on my phone. It sounds fine.
Okay.
Check 1, 2.
The sound is good. I think this. Okay, yeah. It's hard to hear Uncle Tim, not Jamie. I don't know. Yo no sé.
Yo no sé.
Yo no sé.
That's because I also scream when I'm on podcasts.
I think that's part of what it was. I had to adjust Jamie's mic, so he was a little bit hotter than you were in the beginning.
I apologize.
No, it's all love. It's all love. It's a live stream. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all too.
Yeah, no pasa nada.
No pasa nada, señores.
Yeah, no pasa nada. Okay, so let's go through last night. But before we go through last night, before we give our feedback on last night, like what was? I want to know what y'all thought. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing for like Jamie and I were in it. We're this close to it. We're up here. We put a lot of work into this. Like this wasn't like we didn't phone it in. We weren't like scratching our behinds. Like I guess we'll go do this gig.
We took this so deadly seriously.
Oh my goodness! Like and it's been months of preparation leading up to this.
I know when people are like, "So comedians, are you just kind of like talking up there?" I was like, "God, I wish."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just crying over my notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, is this the car ride over, bro? We weren't like, oh, so excited. We were just like, all right, I'm gonna open with this joke. No, stupid. Like I have to do like switching things last minute.
Let me tell you something. Our car ride over to the Addison last night was like half like, let's make promotional flyers, and half of it was like, let's write obituaries. You know what I'm saying?
I have been motivating Tim so much these last couple months. And
correction, slow down.
Yeah.
You haven't been motivating me. You've been coaching me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
you've been coaching
for
me.
the sake of this story, one of the things I was doing was motivating.
Yep.
And then on the way there, suddenly all of my nerves kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from like, Tim, you were meant to do this, dude. The prodigal son's coming home. We got this. To them when I was like, oh no, what if I bomb? What if I bomb? And then what if Tim bombs because of my notes? And suddenly we're like 10 minutes away from the club. And I was like, hey, man. So like if this doesn't work, you have a backup plan, right? You're like really happy with the Daily Show. And like, I don't need to do comedy. I could just teach jujitsu. And suddenly I just start spiraling. And luckily, like you were so in your head, it didn't affect you.
Yep.
But I spiraled on the way there. And I feel like right when they started playing the intro video and we were by the sound booth and I started stretching, I got into like, this fighter's got one more scrap in him. Like I got into like motivational 90s sports movie mode, like the end of Cool Runnings.
Dun, 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 dun. No, I was thinking Rocky. I
was thinking
Cool Runnings.
Bobsled team, baby.
Jamaican bobsled team. That's really funny.
What was the song? Do you remember the song from Cool Runnings?
No, I only saw it one time. I only saw that song. I only saw that movie one time.
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
Well, maybe. I feel like so many 90s movies, especially ones that deal with race, where like, that was great. And you watch it now and you're like, this is problematic. But hopefully Cool Runnings is great still.
Yeah.
It probably is.
I love it. It's a classic.
Okay. What did y'all think?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go first?
No, you go first, sis. Please.
Okay.
Por favor.
Okay. Is it because I'm a lady?
Always.
Always. Chivalry is not dead.
It's actually
I had
because
to-
Derek hated the show last night and he doesn't want to get fired.
I got a hot take.
Oh.
Oh.
I want hot takes.
Yeah, I feel like my
no,
truth
no,
is fair.
no, no,
My
no,
truth,
no.
I know, but he was like, I'm gonna get fired. I'm like, no, I'm not scared about getting fired. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was hilarious. At the end of the show, I came up to you and I was like, Tim, I know you're funny, but I didn't know you were that funny.
Yeah, you
I
did
was
say that.
massaging my cheeks
Yeah.
I love
all
it.
night.
I love
you
it.
were so funny. I had a not my clip. I had a good time listening to you both because I've never heard you either, Jamie.
Oh.
In person. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen clips
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought y'all
sure.
were hilarious. Like my favorite part was when you did the little every Michael Jackson move. I didn't see that coming. You did like this
Oh
little,
yeah.
was
That's like my
hilarious.
That's
Oh
just
my
like my
gosh.
little move for.
It
I
was
don't
so,
know.
and the insurance part. Oh my gosh, you had us on the floor. I mean, well, I was on
You
the,
were on the
floor,
floor?
but literally, I was rolling. I was rolling.
Thanks, dude.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It man, I was so proud of you because here's the thing. That's how you know a compliment's real when it's like it starts with like, look, I didn't know it would be that good. You know what I mean? And that's
For
how I felt
sure.
watching you. Because I've seen all of your shows warming up to this.
Yep.
And there's no nice way to be like, hey, man, those shows were trash compared to last night. I went up to, what was so funny? I went up to your wife after the show, and she was being very kind, and I was dodging my compliments and trying to compliment you, and it was this weird circle happening. And she was like, I was like, dude, I was like, compared to those old shows. And I started going on about your improvement. And then she was like, oh, I didn't see those old shows. And I was like, oh, I mean, they were great as well. But like, honestly, man, like by comparison, it was like you stepped it, not to be like super earnest about a comedy show, but it was literally like, I was like, oh, you're meant to do this. Like I was just sitting back there being like, he stepped into it.
Yep.
He stepped into everything that he thought, whether it was what you thought 25 years ago, whether it was whatever.
Yep.
Because it was so different than all the other shows. Because I feel like the other shows, it was a lot of like tiptoeing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and this was just
Trying to
like
find my way.
You going for it.
Yep.
It was crazy.
So the poetic justice of it all is that 26 years ago, after doing a 6-week class with a guy named Dean, who used to write for Leno and DeGeneres, he had like a little, he has a little comedy school, and you go through his thing for 6 to 8 weeks, and he teaches you how to write bits and stuff like that, and your recital is at the Improv. He works out a deal with the Improv on like a Sunday afternoon when like nobody's using it, right?
Afternoon.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. But here's the thing: if you got 10 to 12 people in your class,
Everyone's friends come.
everyone's
Yeah,
free. You're back in 9th grade
yeah.
doing Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or Midsummer Night's Eve, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Well, and these classes, I should say, are usually a racket. They're usually like, not like scammy, but a lot of the beginning of comedy. I mean, there are things, there were the comedy classes in New York, but then there are things called bringer shows where you could get 5 minutes of stage time if you brought 10 friends. And so essentially, like, comedy just starts as like a pyramid scheme.
Yep.
Because everyone's just so desperately bringing their friends. And then once all your friends see that you brought them to, because at first they were excited. They're like, oh, he's doing comedy. But you essentially brought them to like a 3-hour open mic. You're losing those friends. And the friend count starts dwindling. So you can get like 2 or 3 of those shows. But you're also just so desperate for stage time. That it's like, whatever, dude. I'll sign up for a class, or I'll do this, or you know. But I think what you've discovered, and what anyone who wants to get into comedy or art in general discovers, is, you know, sometimes you need a framework. I guess what you definitely need is stage time. But the bottom line is, no one can teach you how to be funny. You just have to do it over and over again and fail over and over again. And it's this wild thing, because you're trying to. The hardest thing about starting any art is finding your own voice, which you would think would be the easiest thing. But it's so hypnotizing, where you start to try to be like other people or other artists you like, or you just fall into these like old patterns that every new comic falls into. And it's like you have to fight for years to be yourself.
Absolutely.
Which is wild.
Years to be yourself. So 26 years later, I'm on that same stage. 26 years ago, I had 3 minutes, and it was with 10, 11 other people. Right. And then last night, it's just me and you.
Headlining, baby.
Headlining the thing.
And again, we did not plan this, that it would be at that club. It
No.
was my manager. My manager wasn't like, hey, where would be the most whimsical place for Tim to start the tour?
No.
Like, literally, he was like, the first clubs that got back were the Addison and Houston Improv. Because my manager, like, he's tied into all the improvs. And we had no idea. I mean, even the fact that Houston wasn't first.
Absolutely.
It was just...
Exactly. It could have went the reverse order, and it could have been the second night. And no, it was sweetly poetic. Your set, bro, for me, it's what I said after I came up after you. You know what I mean? It was, hey, if y'all don't have a friend like Jamie,
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like y'all not doing this right. Like your set was so authentic, and it was so raw, and it was so honest about where you are in your journey as a believer in Yeshua, that it was like, for me, I was just in the back tickle pink. I got to take in the whole thing from the back, and I was just...
That means a lot, man. I'm getting some DMs, and someone, I want to shout him out, because I think Samuel was like, dude, I felt Jesus in the room. And that for me was so great, because, like, I've been around comedy long enough, and I've been in enough spaces to know if I wanted to just play the game, I know how to do that. I know how to be the former atheist, you know, new believer guy, skirt some dangerous ideas without being dangerous, mainly make fun of atheists and kind of like pat us on the back. Aren't we so great? Blah, blah, blah. And I think, you know, one of the reasons that my old podcast, when I tried to do like a spiritual podcast, didn't work, is I didn't have time to cultivate that audience, and I didn't play that game right away. You know, I mean, going from an atheist to a new Christian who suddenly Mike Todd's following, and, you know, all the, and you, I'm coming on The Basement, and, you know, all the big cool pastors, you know, Travis Green invites me to his church. If I really wanted to be the former atheist guy, dude, I would be headlining churches right now.
It's true.
And one,
John Chris would hate you.
He would hate me. I would,
because you would eat his audience alive.
We would be enemies.
Right.
But the bottom line is, like, one, I can't. I wish I could. I would be a lot richer. But it last night, and this is a credit to your audience, I could just be as real as possible. And I didn't even, I said that I'm a Christian in like a jokey spot. But even after that, I said, I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
And I talked about, the guy who told me I can't masturbate anymore. I talked about, all these things. And what was so cool was not only did your audience go with it, but they didn't even go with it in the like, we have to save him.
Right.
We're going to. So many of them have been there.
Yeah, for sure.
They had been there. And this
Yeah.
idea that you can't talk about that stuff with a Christian audience because the second they got baptized,
Yeah.
they forgot about all that stuff, or they
Yeah.
were just out, serving food every day to the poor. It's like, no, dude, look. When I know those kind of laughs when I talk about porn jokes, and those are not the kind of laughs of people who went through that 20 years ago.
Right, exactly.
Those are the kind of people who have still thought about it.
Right.
And that to me is
Or still doing it.
yes, and that to me is awesome.
Yep.
Because it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
we're still going through it, and when you can talk about that stuff, you're casting light on it.
Yep.
And when you can laugh about it, it breaks the ice. And to me, I think one of the reasons that there's so much like toxic stuff that comes in Christianity or, people falling and all this stuff is because they can't talk about it.
Absolutely correct.
And
1000%.
right?
Correct.
And then people like me get pushed away because I'm like, oh, well, clearly I don't fit in, or clearly I'm the only one who has, been suicidal, or I'm the only one who's, been having sex, or I'm the only one who, whatever. And so when you go to church and you do feel like the only one, you go, well, I don't want to sully these people.
Right.
Like I'm the problem, clearly.
Right,
and
right,
they all
right.
have it figured out,
Yep.
let alone the churches that are judgmental or like you're going to go to hell or blah, blah, blah. But even the really like sweet churches, you just go, oh, I guess I'm not good enough. That's how
Right.
I felt.
Yeah.
And therefore by extension, I'm not good enough for God. And yeah, I mean, the fact that, it was healing for me last night on so many levels.
Really?
Oh my God. I mean, one, it was just cool to just like slay in a club.
Yeah, for sure.
Two, like that material's all new and I didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah, it's true.
And I violated everything I taught you.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, man, I told my wife, I had this surge of confidence because I was trying just to be like, hey, these are going to be 2 stand-up shows. It's really, it could be, Tim's been wanting to do this for 26 years. I keep quitting comedy, so maybe this will just be my last 2 shows because the Austin comedy scene, I do well, but I don't fit in. Everyone's partying and it's,
Yep.
it's different for me.
Yep.
And, but I'm like, it'll be really healing to kind of go out with my buddy, see how far he's come, cheer him on from the back. And then, I'll just do 2, my last ride.
Yep.
And then suddenly I get this surge of confidence, which felt like God, where I've never been to that club before. I've been to the Houston Improv, but I've never been to the Addison Improv.
Mm-hmm.
And I pictured it perfectly in my head. And I felt what I felt last night on stage.
That's
and
beautiful.
I go, ooh, I think this is going to happen. But I still had enough self-doubt that I didn't say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell my wife, I go, dude, I think this show is going to make me fall in love with comedy again.
Mm.
And I go, there's just something I feel because, if I went out and did clean material, I think I'm good enough to have a fine set. But the thing is, I was in such a weird spot because I go, I've been dying to do stand-up outside of Austin
Mm-hmm.
and outside of the kind of like,
Kill Tony.
Yeah. And no offense.
No, absolutely.
It's very
a different vibe.
But also looking at my set list, and I'm like, so I was like, oh, I'm going to do it with my friend Tim, blah, blah, blah. And then looking at my set list, half the stuff was about my problems with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then what wasn't about that was filthy
Mm-hmm.
and maybe death threats to health insurance companies. Like, it was insane. There was no safe material.
Right.
And so what I told Alex was I feel this, but looking at my set list and knowing the crowd I'm playing for, I was like, it is either going to bomb so bad, or if I can make a Christian audience laugh at what I was going through with the church, laugh at this porn stuff, laugh
Facts.
at whatever. I went from these shows could be okay to if I get them to laugh at this, which is then
you
I'm the
could
best
take it
comedian in
anywhere.
the world.
You could take it anywhere. Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely correct.
I went from being like, because it's so different than just doing it at a regular club.
Absolutely correct.
So on one hand, I was set up for complete success going out with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, complete failure doing the riskiest possible material for, it's like one of those like, why can't you just have nice things, buddy? Why can't you just go out and say, don't we all love Jesus? And, here's some jokes about, why men and women are different. And I
Right.
just am like, or what if I talk about my porn problem in the filthiest way possible and get everyone to cheer?
Yep.
And it was great. And that's a credit to also what you've built.
Well, what we've tried to build is a safe space for people to process, right? And so even in that room, I was just so happy. I told you I was proud of you, but I was proud of the audience for laying down their offense and their defenses and not coming in with this preconceived notion of this is what I expect from Jamie and or Tim.
Yeah.
And so that was
because
in that way that was
because you too, you could have had a set. You know how to get a pop in a church.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not doing that.
You know what I mean? Like you could have done. It's interesting actually. Now that I think about it, the fact that you didn't do a bunch of churchy material is kind of the same edginess of me
Correct.
doing it.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, exactly. Your risk to go in on it and my risk to stay out of it.
Yes.
And the fact that both of them were received.
And we both said stuff. I mean, your closer, which I won't say, come to Houston Improv tonight. Your closer is so risky. It's so edgy. And I think everything about our sets, it's just said from such an authentic place.
For sure.
That if they don't like it, one of the reasons it's always been really hard for me, like I'm a pretty liberal guy, but I've gone on a lot of conservative shows. I've gone on Fox News, and I'm where I am spiritually. And one of the reasons that it's been so hard for me to go fully in, and do that kind of pandery thing that I know I could do. I know how to be the former liberal on Fox News or the former Christian or the former atheist or whatever, is because if you bomb doing stuff that's inauthentic to you,
you're dead for real.
Yeah.
You're dead inside.
Where you just go, and I feel like our sets yesterday were so true to ourselves and so what we wanted to speak that even if the sets didn't go great,
I was me. You just didn't receive me.
Yeah.
It wasn't about my material.
There's some new stuff that I did last night that I'm going to switch around for Houston. I'm going to switch the order. I think I can make better for tonight. And, I mean, some of the stuff that killed, I didn't see killing.
Yep.
I'm going to listen to my set. But, some of the stuff I'm going to switch around, and it didn't get that instant huge pop. There were two jokes in particular that were brand new that I was like, should I take them out? But because they were completely true and they weren't pandering, I'm like, there's still something here.
Yeah.
And if I move this to and that's gonna, and it's because we actually care about the material.
That's right.
But I mean, yeah, dude, you could have done like a funny-ish sermon and it would have destroyed.
Yeah. What are you mouthing over there?
I was just saying you were hilarious.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were
I
like.
was just agreeing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it was again.
It looked like you were mouthing. I would have been so mad at you.
No.
That's just what Tim and I see in our heads.
Exactly.
And I have
Everyone's
to
mad at
say,
us.
My husband, I have never heard him laugh that hard. I was like a little offended because I'm like, wow, I guess I'm not that funny, But he was rolling, and so I hope that says a lot because you guys killed it.
No, that's dope.
Like, I love how different your sets were.
Yeah.
Like, I could relate to both of you in certain times. Anyways, it was amazing.
My friend Letty came last night. Shout out to Letty.
That was dope.
Yeah, Letty. I have known Letty for over 40 years, and childhood friend.
She was good vibes.
Oh my God, she flew from Oregon.
That's a real one.
Just to support little Timmy from the block.
Wow.
And I love that girl.
Can we say I won't give the details because the details are filthy. But one of the things she said that was so cool that I didn't see coming is she's like, she related to your set so much.
Yep.
And she said she had a 24-year-old daughter.
That's right.
That can relate to my set and my life so much.
Yep.
And she's like, God, I would have never thought that I should bring my daughter to a comedy show. And I realized that was another cool thing.
Yeah.
Where it's not, because the other angle we could have played is just like, you know, the pastor and the depraved guy.
Yeah.
And it's not that, because again, we're both trying to become the best versions of ourselves, highest self, blah, blah, blah. And, but I love this idea of like, oh yeah, even the people who may not relate to me but think I'm funny, like you said, they have someone in their life
For sure.
who
They know somebody.
Yeah, dude.
That's
I mean,
right.
this is the comedy show to bring your atheist buddy to, or to bring your,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Like,
Facts, absolutely, because they will get okie doked. Okay, Derek, I want the hot take.
Yeah. So
You got hot takes. I
I'm
want
just gonna
them.
keep it real.
Yep.
Like all I know how to do is keep it real.
Yep.
Let me look at Jamie. Jamie, normally your brand of comedy is not my cup of tea.
yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it real.
I saw that coming. Once you said keep it real more than 2 times, I was just like, I know where this is going.
Yeah, but what I want to tell you is that I was pleasantly surprised last night on your material. I thought it was pretty dope.
Thanks,
I thought
buddy.
it was pretty dope.
Thanks,
I feel
man.
like I've seen some of your material before, and I felt like you read the room last night, and
Yeah.
I think that you excelled, and I was impressed.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, props to the audience. I read the room. Like, I've been doing it long enough that I can feel what's going on,
Yeah.
but I didn't plan the set for the room.
Right.
In fact, like one of the notes I gave to Tim when we were working on our set list is like, you know, anytime you have a risky joke, I always put the risky joke in between 2 bangers.
Yep.
But a lot of my bangers are either things I don't want to do anymore or are just so filthy that I'm writing my set list and I was like, I don't have any bangers. Like these are all
They were naked.
These are all risky.
They
I
were
mean, if you
all-
look at my set list,
Yeah.
it looks like I should be institutionalized.
Right.
It's literally just like, yeah, I mean,
It was the sando. It was the sandos that were in there, and I just want to encourage you. You know
Thanks,
what I'm saying?
man.
I want to encourage you
Thanks,
because
buddy.
I think that that's what we do here. We build people up. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And so yeah, I thought it was great. I think my hot take lives where there was people that worked at the comedy show that came up to me that shared with you. So that wasn't my hot take. This is my hot take. There was individuals that were in the staff that are in the improv at Addison that specifically on my way walking out, they're like, hey, hold on one second. I want to just speak to you 1 second. I was like, bet. And they're like, please let Jamie and Tim know that their Christian brand of comedy was refreshing. They gave us contextualized information and perspective
I need all of this.
that I wasn't aware of that I needed.
Okay.
It was a breath of fresh air.
wow.
And the guy, when I first walked in, because Hector and I were there early setting up for y'all because we wanted to bless y'all.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? And
And you did. Thank you.
No, all love.
Yeah.
All love. And we make friends. We love on people.
Yeah.
And he was one of the dudes that were like, nah, I'm at work.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I'm at work.
Yep.
I don't know what this crowd is. They're probably gonna tip us. I mean, they might stiff us. They might tip us. I don't know.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so, Tim, like, he was one of those dudes that you kind of felt the vibe, still loving on him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's because that's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
And then I saw his kind of like demeanor because we were right there in the spot where we were filming. We were seeing the servers come through back and forth. So, but he was like, yo, like, that was something different. Please let him know.
Wow.
That's cool.
And I was like, you know what? I'm absolutely gonna get. Thank you for the feedback because
Yep.
he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
He specifically took his time to
Yep.
come and was like, yo, Tim was like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he was a white dude.
Yeah.
He didn't have to say it.
Yeah,
but
for
I don't
sure.
know if Jesus was in his life or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
You know
For
what I
sure.
mean?
For
But
sure.
I was able to like, hey, amen, man. God
Yeah.
bless. Like, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
dope.
Absolutely.
And that was like that's the hot take. Like, because I seen you at Graffiti Pasta for 5 times.
That's right.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's like, in terms of your development and how you keep on going.
Yeah.
like the lights are not bright, are not too bright for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're doing your thing.
Thank you,
know?
bro. I appreciate
And if y'all
it.
are in Houston, or if y'all are even close to driving through, like come and see it and
Yeah.
let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know
what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
You heard it here first. If you also didn't like me, come to the Houston
No, see,
Improv
that's not what-
tonight.
that's not
and
what I
you
did
will
say,
be
though, Jamie. Please don't put that.
Hey,
That's not
so
what I said.
so Cat Wilson, hey, so this is what I love, right? So Cat Wilson in the Discord 2 minutes ago just put, my husband is not a believer, but he likes comedy, and he's coming with me tonight.
No way.
So we'll see how it goes.
Dude.
So this is one of the reasons why I felt like God told me to do comedy.
That's so cool.
Highways, byways, bushes, and shrubs. Go out to where they are.
Yeah.
Go out to where they are. And when you're going out to compel somebody, you're there to show them a dynamic that they're not anticipating.
Buddy, Jesus didn't come back, and he wasn't like, where are all those Christians?
No, he wasn't. He was looking for everybody that was lost.
Yeah.
And so the seed sowing aspect of what this does, Derek, I can testify to what you're saying. The waitress that took care of me and Jamie, right?
Janae.
She was just
Shout out
Janae.
Janae. Yep.
Shout out to Janae. Janae has seen. I don't know how long she's working there.
Yeah.
Let's just say she's been working there 6 months. She's had to have seen 200 comics come through there.
I mean, yeah.
If she's paying the rent, you know
Right?
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
If she's worked there a month, she's seen some of the best comedians in
Right,
the world.
right.
Yeah,
If she's
DL
been-
Hewley's gonna be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? So you got a person like that that's just like, oh, these are just two comics on a Tuesday night.
Right on a Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't even weekenders. Have fun tonight. You know what I mean? Here's your hot water, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she comes back afterwards, and she goes, y'all should come back and do 2 shows.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
Like y'all should have like a 7:30 and a 9:30 show.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
You can't take that for granted. They don't have to say to your
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
The staff ain't got to say nothing
At
to
all.
you,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so obviously, Jamie brought me her Cash App, and I went ahead and blessed her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then the sound man, the guy
Diego.
that
Yeah.
He was good vibes.
Oh yeah.
he
was
was good
real
vibes,
good
right?
vibes.
Oh, yeah.
He was cool. I left my water on the stage, and I'm one of those people that if I crack a bottle open and I took a sip, that's my water.
That's right. Yeah.
Like I want my water back. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so when I went back out, the whole room was cleared out. They were vacuuming, and I went up there to get my bottle of water. And you said his name was Diego?
Diego. Yeah.
All right, so
The
Diego.
dude with the glasses, right?
Yeah, that was the sound man?
Yeah.
So Diego was like, hey dude, y'all were awesome. Come back anytime because you were so easy to work with. He goes, it's easy to work. He was like, y'all treated us well.
Wow.
And again, there's a lot of, if he's been there a while and he's been doing sound,
Yeah.
some of these comics walk in there like they're God's gift to the world.
Yeah.
So what? So
Shout out Hector leading the way, because I know that Hector like had a really great. We just, man, I gotta give flowers to my homie, because just the way that we operate and the way that he showed me how to lead in those spaces too. Like, you know, I just want to give shout out to my homie Hector, because I know that he felt us. You know what I'm saying? We were loving on him the whole night, dog. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, hey, something I want to give you props for as well, Tim, when you were talking about the woman who's coming tonight with her dude.
Yeah.
You could have picked, you know, there are plenty of thirsty ass comics with way more followers than me and way less baggage than me that you could have been like, hey, come see this super Christian, marketable, stupid name comedy tour. You know what I mean? Like easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
And there was some reason that you probably frustratingly were like, really, God, are you sure? Are you sure it's not Christ?
No.
But like you, but like there are so many, like you just stuck with it for some reason you were like, it's supposed to be Jamie. And that, you know, I thought it was so cool for me, obviously, like what a cool opportunity for me and how fun for both of us.
Yep.
But I didn't even put together the, oh my God, believers and non-believers and like all these different people, like we're opening it up. Because all these comedy tours, especially the ones that like do really well, it's always like the blue collar guys
Yep.
or the,
Yep.
you know, the rich white ladies
Yeah.
or it's just like, here's a bunch of people who are the same.
Right.
And we're going to put them together.
Yep.
And then if you agree with them, you're going to come and you're going to clap to things you know you're going to agree with.
Yep.
And then you're going to buy thousands of dollars of merch.
Yep.
And then everyone goes home rich.
Yep.
And to take that risk and be like, we are going to do something more challenging because it's the right thing to do. And because it might reach 10 people per show who would have never seen you or who would have felt alone or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
Well, okay, so let me address this in order. You had to come with me because you're my friend,
yeah, sure.
right? We're not doing marketable comedy guy
Right.
who I have no relational equity with, right?
Sure.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, like, the gospel is to be preached, and sometimes you use words,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm sure these people have seen Christian comics before.
Yeah.
Improv has days where they do just Christian clean sets, right? That doesn't mean they're nice people.
Right.
Right.
That doesn't mean they tip well.
Right.
That doesn't mean their audience is nice.
Right.
Even though it might be a room full of Christians
Yeah.
that don't want to hear the F-bomb being dropped,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so there's at least 4 staff members who can't put their finger on what was different about last night.
Yeah.
And we know
Yep.
it's the presence of God and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
And they're so disoriented by it that they probably woke up today still thinking,
What was that?
yo, them dudes were different. And,
Yeah.
and they were Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude, even I was surprised. Like I said, when that guy Samuel DM'd me and he said Jesus in the room for my set, I was just like, are you sure he wasn't just preparing for Tim's set? And Jesus had to like set up his stuff first while I was still on stage. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And so it's just like that wait staff, like, I have to come to terms with that still. Like when you, like, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, totally. And I think, you know, for any artist out there who's a believer, I think the instinct, and I do this too, right? Like, all right, I'm vegan again, so I got to write a bunch of pro-vegan stuff and I got to perform at the vegan rallies and like do, because that's what I used to do, right? As opposed to, I am going to go be funny and make people happy and be a role model that people want to look into.
Yeah.
And then if they go, oh, that dude's vegan. I always thought vegans were like this or that or preachy or whatever. Like, that's cool. Maybe I'm going to like stop eating fast food meat or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with religion or spirituality or whatever, where it's just like that instinct to be like, all right, well, I'm performing in front of a Christian crowd, so I guess I just got to make fun of atheists. It's like, or maybe what God really wants you to do is be as authentically real as humanly possible. And, you know, God don't need cheerleaders. Like, you know, he doesn't need just people being like, you are good all the time. And, you know, like this, having this space to wrestle with doubts and fears and all this stuff and still have you say God is in the room is like, whoo, like so healing and cool, man. And should be an inspiration to other artists where it's
Yeah.
like you can still be yourself.
Well, let me say this. Let me tell you why I really believe more than ever this needs to be displayed.
Yeah.
Because the pastor who has presented himself polished and as the theologian and has devoted his life to this image also was boning his secretary.
Right.
And had a skeleton in his closet so big from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
That he has to say goodbye to the entire church.
Right.
Because the entire church was like, you did what? When?
You did what to that skeleton?
Because you told us it was this and
Yeah.
it was that.
Yeah.
It's not.
You told us it was a leg bone.
was
That's
that.
Yeah.
all of the human.
Yeah.
It still has hair on the skull.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's like I would rather have the authentic you struggling where you are right now
Yeah.
than the polished pastor who's trying to finger bang
Yep.
his student volunteer.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Like at least there's no duplicity.
Yeah. That's going to be my new marketing tagline. Jamie Kilstein, not fingering the students.
Right, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Like it's like last night your set is like that is where Jamie is right now in his journey, in his development, in his relationship with God.
And that has to be what art is, right? Like, there's that's the difference I think between art and like pandering, because it's the same with you. Like, you know how to work a room, even if comedy is newer, and you could have pandered too, and you wanted to talk about dark humor with your wife, you wanted to talk about growing up in the hood, you wanted to, and you know, you could have pandered, I could have pandered, and I think true art has to be expressing where you are in this point of time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whether it's
Exactly.
music, painting, it's like, what are you feeling right now? Not what worked in the past.
Yep.
Not what you think will get you a lot of TikTok views.
Exactly.
What are you going through right now? And it's so much harder to make art like that, because if my Instagram handle was former atheist for the Lord, 1.1 million followers, and every day it was a video on atheists.
Yep.
And you know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh my goodness! If I was like the deconstructionist atheist, I would be. There you go. The deconstructionist atheist. If I made that podcast tomorrow,
that's right.
Top of the Christian charts, baby.
Exactly right. You would unseat Girls Gone Bible and Sadie Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It would be like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't. I want to. I can't. But yeah, man, and you too. Like, I mean, Tim, there was something so special about, because I've seen you perform I've seen you in front of 1,200 people. It was fun. Not you were fine. You're great. You're always great. But I was just like, there's my buddy. Like, all right. When I saw you in front of that iconic improv brick wall, pacing like a comedian, moving the mic stand to the back, getting those applause breaks on throwaway lines about your past, and just watching the audience and how locked in they were, I was just like, my guy is living his dream right now. And I didn't think that when I saw you in front of 1,200 people in Dallas last year. I didn't. I was just like, good for him.
Yeah.
But I didn't care to the level that I could. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen you interview Mike Todd a lot of times.
Yep.
It was so everything I knew you could be, and it was so like, if he wants this. I mean, I texted you while you were on stage. I didn't make it 5 minutes into your set without pulling out my phone and texting you.
Yep.
Outside of the room. Don't text during a comedy show. But that I was like, if you wanted to fully, I mean, I know how in love you are with this show, which I think kind of ties into comedy, to be honest with you. But if you wanted to just fully be like, I'm going all in as a stand-up, period. Not a Christian stand-up, not a podcaster stand-up, as a stand-up. I was just like, that is 100% there for you.
Yep.
And you don't, even if you didn't want to.
Yep.
Last night, watching that and knowing you could, I was just like, well, my buddy already did it. Like, he lived the dream that has been kind of tapping at him for 26 years.
Hey, but I think this bears, before we jump into our second hour, I'm glad you brought that up, because while we were driving to the improv yesterday, as a friend, you were just asking me questions.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, dude, What's the end game for you?
Yeah.
What does this look like for you? Is this a one and done for you? Are you really trying to make this a thing? What are you trying to do? And I told him, my exact response to you was, I want this, but not at the expense of Wide Open.
Yep.
I want to do comedy, not at the expense of this show.
Yep.
I feel like this show is my mandate.
Yeah.
From God. I know he told me to start The Basement. I love The Basement. The Basement will continue. But this daily show, it's the reason why I did a set last night, still got up this morning, had my Spanish class, doing this show for 3 hours. 30 minutes after this show ends, we are on the road to Houston.
Yep.
I'm driving.
Yep.
Why am I driving? I don't want the plane to have a doggone malfunction with the bathroom and can't take off.
Broken toilet.
Right?
Come on, American. I'm group 4.
Right. What are we doing? So we're driving down there.
You are getting me a hotel with the travel stipend.
Yeah.
So that you can drive back by yourself.
That's exactly right.
To do this show. Because I'm flying home out of Houston.
I'm driving. Yeah, you're flying back home out of Houston, back to Austin. I am driving back tomorrow night after the show.
Yeah.
I'll probably get home around 1:30.
He said tomorrow night. That's how long. That's how heavy you've been grinding. You're like, I'll be driving back tomorrow night. It's tonight, dog.
It's tonight. Yeah. It's tonight. That's yeah.
I feel you, but like the grind is like
Stupendous. But
crazy.
I love this show.
I'm
supposed to be here.
Yeah, they love you too, man.
The inspiration that you talking about this show gave me, one of the things that me and you were going to talk about that I needed your help with, because this has been a lot of you asking me comedy stuff, but the thing that I wanted your guidance on for this drive to Houston we got is, I know the game, right? Posting actively on social media, doing a podcast, building the 1,000 true fans, all that stuff. And I've really struggled with social media when it comes to like my mental health. And last November and December, I got off social media for my mental health. And in a month, I wrote an entire TV show, found a director from The Walking Dead, Spider-Man, filmed the TV show, who loved it so much he did it for free.
Yep.
Filmed it, brought his whole crew from The Walking Dead to film my comedy. And now it got sent to one of the creators of The Office today, right? This happened a month off social media.
That's right.
And I do something that takes people years to do.
That's right.
And so there's part of me that's like, yo, I got to get off entirely. And so that I can do this deep work. Like, this is what happens when I'm not distracted with likes or what this comedian's doing or Tim's audience or whatever. But then the problem is,
yep.
I was talking to my buddy Roy Wood Jr. Shout out to Roy. If you want a good comedy special, his new Hulu special, he was hosting The Daily Show. It's really beautiful and so funny. And he was talking about, if you want to build a new audience, essentially do what you're doing, right?
Yep, yeah.
Post stuff online. He sent me Ali Sadiq. He sent me Josh Johnson. Here are these guys who are just posting a lot and building an audience. And I go, that's kind of the opposite of what I wanted to do. So going into these stand-up shows, our producer for these stand-up shows was like, hey, please get on social media and promote them to both of us. And I was like, okay. So I got back on social media and I didn't love it. And although we're going to post a trailer today. Guys, if you see us post a trailer from last night's show on Instagram, on both me and Tim's Instagram, mine's at the Jamie Kilstein, you follow Tim, share it, comment, and like it so that the algorithm picks it up and so people see it and we can do more shows. Because if Houston does as well as Addison does, we can play improvs around the country, and that's how we get to come to you.
That's right.
So if you see it, especially for the algorithm, like even if you're like, I don't live in Houston, just like or comment a stupid emoji, whatever. But the way you talked about this show that we're doing and the audience and how much passion it brings you, I went from I can never do social media again, I'm just going to focus on stand-up, blah, 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 to this morning I do this like stream of conscious journaling in the morning to see what's really going on in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, do I do it daily? Like there was part of me that's like, last night's show inspired me so much. And watching you do this inspired me so much. I used to have a daily political show.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is like, am I supposed to go back to that? And that's a whole nother conversation. But
Right.
the reason I bring that up is like seeing that it can be done in such a happy, healthy way where you're truly connecting with your audience and you truly care about your audience. And it's not just like a money grab you do once a week was like, I mean, it motivated me that I may break out of what I thought I was supposed to do and be like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're on a very different yet oddly similar path, and it's inspiring for me to watch what you're making with this show.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
I love this show. I love Wide Open. Jamie Kilstein, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on with me, homie.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in Houston, Houston Improv tonight. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram at the Jamie Kilstein, please.
Hey, TCM Jazz. Hey, anyone know if Tim is coming to LA? Absolutely coming to LA. Want to come to LA. Again, Houston. No pressure, Houston. But we need, I need everybody in Houston and the surrounding areas to pull up. Again, Addison banged. Like, they came through, they packed the place out. We need Houston to do the same. This unlocks the other improvs for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give you guys the behind the scenes that my manager will probably hate. But like,
tell him.
We have a dope manager. He was the booker of Conan O'Brien's show. He's the best. He's been so supportive. And he works at the company that literally owns all the improvs. Or not all of them, but like a lot of the major improvs. And which is how we got these shows, because I don't have the following of someone who can be headlining clubs. Tim doesn't have the experience of someone who can be headlining clubs. Tim has numbers. I have experience. But it's still a risk for these clubs.
Absolutely correct.
It doesn't matter that you have, almost 1 million followers. It doesn't matter that I've been doing comedy for 20 years.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? And so it is still a risk. And so the reason that there are only 2 shows is because as much as everyone has been so supportive of us, they need to know that it's not going to be one, that you're not going to bomb.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, he didn't say that to me, but that was something I thought of this more. I thought of that when I was watching you. I was just like, I mean, how many celebrities that aren't true comics fill a comedy room and then bomb?
Yeah, absolutely correct.
I mean, you get a one TikTok viral video, and you can headline a comedy club.
That's right.
That don't mean you're going to be good. That doesn't mean you're going to put the work in that you put in, that you truly put in over these last couple months.
Yep.
And so they need to know that people are showing up.
That's right.
And that the show is good.
Yep.
And last night we proved that the show is fucking good.
Yep, absolutely.
And we proved that people can show up.
Yep.
But it's also easy to be like, well, Tim lives in Dallas, whatever.
Right.
But if we have, if tonight goes 80% of what last night went, then everybody who's like, when are you going to come to Phoenix? When are you going to come to Detroit? When are you going to come to Philly?
We'll literally be able to give you the dates.
Yeah, like we have one of the best managers on the planet. He's
right.
got those phone numbers.
That's exactly
They
right.
know who he is.
That's
It's
right.
up to us and people to show up. For the
That's
access
right.
is already there.
That's absolutely correct.
We just have to proof of concept.
Yep.
So if you're like, I don't know anyone in Houston, I'm dying for you guys to come. When we post the trailer today, share the trailer, tag your local comedy club.
Absolutely.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
If you tag House of Comedy Detroit,
Yep.
hey, can you bring the Beyond Belief tour here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's what we just need, you guys, and then like we are game to do this.
Okay. That's all. That's it. That's all you need to hear.
Easy.
Yeah, it is.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm
bye.
excited for our little road trip.
Okay.
Bye, team.
I will get you to 7 Mile.
Oh yeah. And then I'm just gonna write. I'm literally just gonna listen to my set right, and then you can scoop me. I'm gonna put my suitcase by your car.
Done deal.
Yeah. Just so I don't have to look like a little orphan when I go into 7 Mile. It's gonna look like I just got kicked out of the house by my wife.
You're gonna be all right, dude.
Do you have a place for my suitcases?
Try their orange juice.
Oh,
it's
my
so
goodness.
good.
Really?
Oh
Yeah,
my
their
gosh.
fresh squeezed orange
So
juice
good.
is some of the best, bro.
All right, I'm on it.
It absolutely is. Okay. It's gonna be here in 6 minutes.
I love you.
All right, love you. Bye.
Hey Tim, there was another thing that I wanted to shout out to. I
Please
saw
shout it
Cyrus.
out.
I saw Cyrus in your DMs on Instagram, dog.
Who?
Cyrus Steele.
Oh, did you?
He pulled up.
Did he really?
He came in. Yeah.
He was there last night?
There was a lot of people there that were in the building, bro, that were representing you.
Cyrus was there last night?
That is correct, sir.
I didn't know Cyrus came.
He pulled up.
How come nobody said anything?
Because I saw him in the beginning. When we were in the mix of it, I'm like, man, I need to find that dude. And then
He was gone.
he was gone. But that's That's the way, you know what I mean? Like I respect it. I love it. I love the way people pull up, show love, and then be like, yo, I'm not here. I'm just here to show love and catch a vibe. But he did send you a DM that I wanted to read to you.
Please.
Okay, cool.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. And shout out Cyrus Steele, man. I love
Yo,
him, dude.
Cyrus, that's another level of support, fam.
He's like, dude, the bit about your gangster hours from 4 p.m. Dude, I don't give away a little bit, but the hourly schedule for the gangsterism had me dying. Great writing and great show.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Oh my gosh.
So like those were the hot takes, right?
Yep.
So like somebody that's in the industry
Yep.
that doesn't need to fake the funk.
At all. Who's already proven himself, already has it.
Correct.
The whole nine. Yep.
And I mean, based on what I've seen, like has a good sense on the finger on the pulse. And then like the wait staff, the people who actually work at the Improv, who if they're paying their bills, they in that building, whether they like it or not, whether they like comedy or not.
For
You feel
sure.
me?
Absolutely.
And for
Wow.
them to take their time
Yep.
and be like, yo, hold on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
bro.
there's a thing about it, man. I love you, bro. I love you.
Please tell Cyrus
Yeah.
from my heart, deepest appreciation, deepest gratitude. Thank him so much for, wow.
Right?
Man, that means a lot, man. I got respect for him.
I know,
As a
bro.
matter of fact, after this show, just remind me to do a voice response for him.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't have social media.
I don't know if you know this, but you don't have social media, dog.
I don't have social media. Okay, everybody, it's 10:01.
You already know.
Listen, y'all. Y'all hear the music. Y'all know what that means. Y'all might as well just warm up.
Hey.
Because these fine loans, I said fine loans.
These fine loans?
I was trying to say phone lines.
No, let's do
I'm rubbing
fine
off
loans.
on you.
And I
from
said
the other
fine
day.
loans.
Dude, let's do the fine loans, man.
Hey.
These fine loans.
Phone lines are wide open. The phone lines are wide open.
Woo.
That's right, they wide open. The phone lines are wide open. It is 2 minutes after the 10 o'clock hour, 10:02 Central Standard Time. Phone lines are wide open. Y'all already know what time it is. No question off limits. Call in from literally all over the world. If you got a connection, if you got an audio connection, if you got a video connection, come through. It's going down. We are wide open. Jamie. Jamie. The car's going to be here in 4 minutes. Can you hear me? I don't know.
I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, tell him. I just want him to know that I'm a man of my word and I got the Uber. And
let's shout out to Derek doing this for the first time without your boy.
for sure.
Yo, Nisi, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi,
What's up,
Nisi.
Nisi?
Hey, I'm so nervous.
It's all good. Take your time. I love you, girl. What's going on?
I love you too, man. I've been watching y'all since I've been on this journey, and I just love everything that y'all have going on. I can say a few of y'all past episodes have left me in some tears and
Wow.
needed tears.
Oh, awesome.
So thank y'all so much.
You're welcome. What's going on today?
Okay, I'm nervous, so I hope I can just flow through this.
For sure. Take your time.
I'm 25 years old. I'm from Monroe, Louisiana. And as of last year, around August, from August to September, I started coming out of lesbianism.
Okay.
I would say that I was a lesbian. Well, I liked girls since I was around 7 years old.
Okay.
That was the first time I noticed an attraction for women.
Okay.
But last year I went through so much, and I knew the only place that I could turn to, the only place I had to turn was to God. And in that season, it's like he just started bringing me out of so many things, not just being a lesbian, but everything else
Okay.
and everything that was connected to that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do because it's almost like there's no community for this. There's nobody to talk to about this. There's nobody who really understands this, as well as I'm 25, and before this journey, I feel like I've ruined my life. Like, as far as um all the things that I was involved in, and like credit and finances and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to where I am now, wanting to move forward in God, I feel like I'm just shackled. Like, I feel like I there's nowhere for me to go. There's nothing to run to.
Yes,
Like, I
ma'am.
just feel stuck.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, like on my job, I drive forklifts for a
Okay.
warehouse out here,
Yes, ma'am.
and out here I would say it's good money, but I know that I don't really have the best money management and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with all of that, I feel so miserable on my job.
Okay.
Like, there's been times where I've been, there's grown men screaming in my face. It's a warehouse. It's
Yep.
like it's always some type of drama going on in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't want to be there. I feel like they don't want me there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know what to do. I've done a million applications and it's just rejection, rejection, rejection. And that messes with my fear of rejection.
For sure.
Um, I have a, I know I have a problem with authority, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe that comes from when I was molested as a child,
Okay.
and it left me feeling unprotected. It
Yes,
left
ma'am.
me feeling uh, like nobody avenged me. Nobody went and got my lick back for that situation
For
because
sure.
nobody believed me.
Yep.
It
Mm.
was a family member, and nobody believed me.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like I have such a anger inside of me. I tell people I'll fight anybody. Like, I just be getting so mad. Like, I'm fighting mad all
Mm-hmm.
the time,
Mm-hmm.
even on my job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that miserable feeling is coming from. And I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know who I am anymore.
Mm.
Coming out of lesbianism, I was like, this is not my reality. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even think that's my real personality. Like, I used to go by Q. I
Okay.
go by my actual nickname now, which is Nisi.
Okay.
And in my life, I feel like I keep hearing God say, be still and know that I'm God. I will fight for you.
Mm.
But it's like nobody's ever fought for me before. So how can I trust that you will? And it's
Absolutely.
scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, Nisi, I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for calling.
I was scared too.
I'm so glad you did it anyway. Like, if you can't do it brave, just do it scared. Right? You don't need that feeling to go away to ever take a step. And the fact that you did it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm you said a lot. You said a lot. The the journey out of lesbianism into the true purpose of you walking with the Lord, that can be a very lonely period. Because you're not just leaving a lifestyle, you're leaving a community as well.
Yeah.
And when you leave that community, there is this limbo between communities that people don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a real place that you're in right now. I remember when I gave my life to Jesus. In 24 hours, I lost all my friends.
Oh my God. I tried to skip that part out of what I was about to say.
Really?
Um, the the person who I was calling my best friend at the time that all of this was going on was also my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
So I left that relationship. I told her about my walk with God, and we started, reading the Bible together and all of that. But I would continually have these dreams about what was just her, just being in the dreams. And the dreams was like I was always in a dangerous place. I was always in one of the dreams I died. So I was like,
Mm.
I know that I need to leave this friendship, and I'm being disobedient. And I would keep standing at places because that was the only person who I felt like knew me and understood what I was going through and all of that. And I guess I just finally let go. But I would manipulate myself with the scriptures like, well, it says we're supposed to live in peace with all believers and da 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 da. And I would just manipulate myself to keep a friend.
Yeah,
But I can't do that anymore. So now I just feel alone.
absolutely. And Nisi, it is as lonely as it feels to you. I can identify with you. I have absolutely been there. When I tell you them niggas got ghost on me in 24 hours, they got ghost. And it wasn't out of like no disrespect. It was like, hey, yo, like, yo, hey, good for you. You gave your life to Jesus. But it was also like, nigga, we ain't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, if that's what you own now, we respect you, but that ain't what we on. So, hey, God bless you. Pray for us because we still going back to the club. Pray for us because we still about to get into some dirt. And so I just want you to know this lonely period feels exactly how it sounds, lonely, and it's normal. I just want you to normalize it. I'm not about to tell you, oh girl, just pray and you about to have a new friend group in 3 weeks or 3 days or 3 hours. No, it's going to be lonely for a minute. And that loneliness is to wean you off of dependence on them and get you to focus on being dependent on God. Because he is the only one that's truly faithful. He is the only one that's trustworthy. He is the only one that's consistent. He is the only one that anchors. He is the only one that brings true peace. So that lonely period for me, that's where my connection to God grew. And over the course of like 6 months, a year, slowly but surely, I was starting to make new friends. And these people were really trying to live life the way I was trying to live it. I didn't have to deal with nobody that was like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but I still slip and dip and trip. And if you down, I'm down, I'm down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, nah, it's like, yo, we're going to hold each other accountable. If we fall, we going to confess, but we trying to do this right. You know what I mean?
That's what I want. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah. And you going to have it. You going to have it. There was already some people that popped up in the chat that was like, oh, girl, say less. Like one girl was like, oh, I used to be non-binary lesbian and I just turned 26. Like, say less. I already know what you're going through. So you're not alone. But this lonely period in your interpersonal relationships, that's a real stage. And I wish the church talked about it more. I wish we normalized it instead of trying to make you're supposed to be in community. You're never supposed to be alone. Well, hell, Jesus was alone. Jesus actually went away to be alone. Like, what are we talking about? Like, he withdrew from the disciples. He had time alone. Loneliness is not supposed to be scary. It's not supposed to be. He literally took the children of Israel out of Egypt to bring him to the mountain to be alone with him. He wanted them away. The wilderness was about getting them away from the rest of the nations. He took them to the middle of nowhere so he could show them, I'm really Adonai. And so this is the time, I think it's lovely that the Holy Spirit gave you the word, be still and know that I am God. I love your response. I've never been able to trust nobody else. Nobody else has fought for me. How do I know he gonna fight for you? He about to prove it to you now, Nisi. In this little wilderness period, in this alone time, he about to prove to you he'll fight for you. That you don't have to live with a victim mentality. He about to prove for you and fight for you that what you've done in the past that you think has hindered you in your future is not an indication of what's about to happen hindered your present is not an indication of what's about to happen in your future. He proves all of this when he gets you alone with him. Just to be close to you. Just to be close to you. Just to be close to you is my desire. Just to be close to you. Just to be close to you. Just to be close to you is my desire. Like, that's what this part is. It's him drawing you close to him. It's him.
I knew he was gonna make me cry. That's why.
I'm not trying, but it's if these tears are there for release and relief and for confirmation and for comfort, like, then let them stream. Like, God loves you so much. Like, for the Holy Spirit to bring his conviction to you and draw you out of that lifestyle. Not some angry preacher telling you going to hell. But for God to just love you enough to go, my purpose and my plan is better than your purpose and your plan for your life. Your body belongs to me. I want it back. I want your mind, body, and soul to glorify me. Your attraction to women has never been an issue. Attraction is not a sin. What we do with that attraction can be sinful. God literally just wooed you by the Holy Spirit to show you, I don't want you to have inglorious sex. Sex that doesn't bring me glory. I want you to have glorious sex. I want you to have sex that brings me glory. You're 25. Your whole life is ahead of you. You have not ruined your life. You have not ruined your life. You might have some consequences that you're experiencing in your present, but to say you've ruined your whole life. God give you good, long life, health, and strength. We talking about another 60, 70 years. And it all got ruined right now because it's a couple of missed mistakes you did. You know how many people made mistakes and got their credit is 552 and they car note is $603 and it's 22% interest. Like, we've all made some mistakes. But God gets us through it all. You didn't ruin your whole life, Nisi. That's a lie from the enemy, and I don't want you to repeat it anymore. The enemy's so good, he starts us off on a lie, and we get convinced by the lie, and then we repeat it. He keeps whispering, you ruined your life. You messed up too much. You ruined your life. And then we start repeating, I ruined my life. I messed up too much. And then he on to the next one. He on to go give, because Jesus calls him the father of lies. Then he goes down to go give some lies to somebody else, sprinkle them on them and have them in a little spin cycle. Then he go to somebody else. Nah, shame off of you, not shame on you. Shame is coming off of you today in Jesus' name.
I feel like when God tells me to be still, he tries to tell me I'm stuck. And it makes me want to fight my way out of where I am.
Nisi. I'm so grateful you gave me that detail. The enemy's trying to convince you that stillness is stuckness. He is indeed the father of lies. To make you think your daddy saying be still is your daddy being mean to say you're stuck. Still is not stuck. Still is not stuck. Can you say that?
Still is not stuck.
Say it again.
Still is not stuck.
Say it again.
Still is not stuck.
It ain't stuck. Still is not stuck. Put it in the chat. Huh? Still
Yo, it's
is
in there.
not stuck. When he says be still, he is not saying be stuck. Usually when he wants us to be still, it's so that we can watch what he does next.
You want to know what I think the evidence of that is?
Come through. Tell me. You know I want
In
to
the
know.
beginning of this, I wanted to leave my job because I was already miserable there, and he kept telling me to be still.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been asking for a raise since I walked through the door. And
First day at work. Give me a raise. Oh, that's so
and
funny.
I would say 3 weeks after I was feeling like that and praying about that and telling him I just need an increase, we ended up getting a warehouse wide $3 raise. And I was
What?
like, that was nobody but God, because I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Wow.
I wasn't going to be able to make it. And he said, be still. And I ended up getting a $3 raise.
Praise God. Ooh, he's so faithful.
And I feel like with them, like, basically threatening my job all the time, I be wanting to say, well, God told me to be still, so you really can't do nothing besides let me deal.
Exactly. Exactly. They'll be gone before you will. Right? I wish somebody would try to tell me do something opposite what the Lord already said. I have always said this. I'm thankful I never have to. I've never been in a situation where I have to try to test it out. But I have, being that I'm from the hood and I've been held at gunpoint and all this kind of stuff. I have always said, if somebody ever holds me at gunpoint, my question to them is going to be like, did you get permission from my daddy?
Yeah.
And they going to be so like, what the hell, nigga, what? I said, give me that money. Like, nigga, did you get permission from my dad? Like, you can have the money. But if you're thinking about pulling this trigger, I hope you asked my daddy. And I know they just going to be like, nigga, what are you talking? This nigga's crazy. Let's just go. You know what I'm saying? Or they going to shoot me.
But I'm going to wake up.
Say that again.
And I'm telling you did it.
Exactly. Shoot me if you want to. It's going to go through my cheekbone. Never touch a vital part, and when I wake up in the hospital, I'm gonna be like, that nigga had on a Pittsburgh jersey sweater, and he had 3 gold teeth in his mouth. He had a tattoo that said Sharon on his neck.
So if you find Sharon, you find him.
Exactly. If you just go find Sharon, you'll find bro. No, I am I'm so grateful to hear how God is providing for you and showing up for you. And you're going to learn so much about him in this stillness. And it's meant to solidify you. It's meant to anchor you. When I didn't come out of the LGBTQIA plus lifestyle, but I came out of a lifestyle that was gripping. Like, street life is gripping. All of the lifestyles that we can come out of can be gripping. And 29 years later, I've never gone back to that lifestyle because God proved himself to be so faithful. If I went back, it would just be out of pure rebellion.
Right.
It wouldn't be out of like, well, I tried God and he didn't work, so I'm back. It would be out of straight pure rebellion. So I just encourage you. I know you're just starting off on this journey, and but I just want you to know you're not alone. You got a community that loves you. We're rallying around you, and the best is yet to come, Nisi. The best is yet to come. And thank you for being brave enough to to come through today and not to just keep it to yourself.
Thank you for y'all just having something like this where people can call in and get this confirmation and get this encouragement.
Oh no, we love you, girl. Listen, like I said in the first hour when I was talking to Jamie, like I love doing the comedy stuff, but not at the expense of this show. I have literally changed my whole life so I can do this show. I have canceled appearances I was supposed to be in other places to record during the week, and it's like, oh, if you leave this night, then you'll come back Friday, or like if you leave on Wednesday night, you'll come back Friday, and it's like that means I'm gonna miss 2 days of wide open to come see y'all. The answer is no. Like, just how much did it cost for you to book the tickets? You can have them back. Like, I'm literally reimbursing people right now because I'm not coming. I'm supposed to be doing this. That's just it. I'm supposed to be doing this, and I'm all in on this. So I love you, Nisi. Thank you for calling in.
I love y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Okay.
Y'all.
We love you, girl. Have a good day, okay?
We love you, sis.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ooh, that's my sissy right there. That's my sissy right there.
That stillness is not
That-
stuckness?
Stillness ain't stuckness.
Yo,
Be still and see his glory.
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
man,
God didn't
Tim.
ever tell nobody to be still. Nah, be still and know that I am God is for him to show off. It's for him to pop out and show.
Woo, certified.
You know what I'm saying? It's for him to pop out and show. Like, oh, you thought I was gonna leave you out here? You thought I was did you actually think that I was not gonna come through for you? Why don't you just be still real quick and let me show you something real quick? Hey, sit down right here, let me show you. That's all be still is. It's like Exodus. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. I want you to stand right here and see the salvation. What was the salvation? The Red Sea split in two. They walked across on dry ground. Ain't nobody ever popped out and showed like Adonai has. Ain't nobody ever popped out and showed like Yeshua has. So much so that 2,000 years later, we still talking about it. Y'all better stop playing. Huh? Y'all better stop playing. That's right. He made a way. Yay.
Stand by. We're getting the next caller.
Oh, no worries. I'm just hyped. Nisi got me crunk. I ain't said crunk in a long time.
She wanted to just do. There's a couple of callers I just want to do audio. We even have the next one. I think just wants to do audio as well, which is all love.
It's all love. It's a caller for a reason.
Yeah,
They calling. Like, the fact that they want to be seen is their option. You know what I'm saying? But the callers, that's all. Yeah, we wide open. We wide open to see you. We wide open to hear you. We wide open to see and hear you. You know what I'm saying? We just wide open up in this, up in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just wide open up in this thing. That's all it is.
All right. Welcome to the Tim Ross Wide Open Calls right now.
Wait.
Oh, you got it?
I hit video by accident. Give me 1 second.
Okay, it's all good, sis. When you're ready, just introduce yourself.
How do I turn off the video?
Hit the camera icon.
Or we could just look at the
There
scene.
you go. Amen. You got it.
Nah, we're good.
She was like, "Nah, we good."
What's your name?
We good. My name's Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Hi, very nervous. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Take your time. It's all good. We chill.
All right, so I was told I only have 60 to 90 seconds to ask my question.
Okay.
So I wrote it down just to kind of get to the point, and then if you need any like backstory or anything, I'll answer your question.
All right. Thank you.
So I am in a difficult custody situation with my ex-husband. He currently has full residential custody. The reason why he has full residential custody is because I moved to New Hampshire due to God guiding me here.
Okay.
So the move to New Hampshire was done while we were still married. So like legally still married, even though we were separated for a very long time. So
Okay.
I couldn't take the children from Massachusetts and bring them to New Hampshire.
Okay.
Um, since he has gotten the full custody, um, he's been limiting my involvement with our children, denying short notice visitations, restricting video calls, even though I have a set schedule like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Um, and I have to initiate all phone calls.
Hmm.
Um, I recently requested to have them over for the entire summer to travel, but he denied my request. I've only had them for one weekend and one holiday since 2023. I have a 17-month-old baby who you will hear in the background screaming, and I apologize.
No worries.
He is completely unvaccinated. The reason my baby is completely unvaccinated is because I didn't believe in, doing the whole COVID thing. Like we did our research and our choice as parents, my new husband and myself, we decided not to do that.
Okay.
With my baby being unvaccinated, there is a huge health concern because my children are living with their father and they are in public school.
Okay.
And so I can't control who they're around in the public school system. So I can't control what they do and do not bring home.
Understood.
I am a full-time stay-at-home mom. I'm a complete advocate for homeschooling, which is what I would be doing with my 17-month-old, because my husband has given me the freedom and the flexibility to be the mother that I want to be for my child.
Understood.
Sorry, I'm like breaking down.
It's okay. So let's slow down. Let's slow down. I know you were trying to honor 60 to 90 seconds to say everything, but I hear a lot of pain in your voice.
There is.
Okay. What are you feeling right now?
Just hurt. I feel like a failure because I can't. Like, I want to do everything right for my children. I want to make sure they have everything they need. But the situation that I left was for my mental safety, my emotional well-being, my physical well-being. And I had to leave them there. And it hurt because I can't protect them because they're not with me. I know that he's a good dad. Like, he was just not a great husband. And it was always like a constant battle, especially because when we did get married, when we met, I was not a Christian. I didn't believe. I was an atheist. And so finding Christ and being saved has completely uprooted my life for the better. And my children are like, they were my saving grace. They're the only reason why I'm still here. He needs to share his side of the story.
Yeah, let that baby talk. That baby got some pain too. That baby wants to see his siblings. He's like, I put that.
And that's the thing, like they love their baby brother. He loves them. And so it's just, I just want them to be together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I want them to grow up together and know that they have each other's backs. Like, I'm the oldest of 7, so like I know what it's like to, not have anybody you can kind of like go to and be like, hey, bro, like, this happened at school, whatever the case is. Like,
Right.
I had to be the one defending.
Yep.
So I want him to have that.
Yeah. How old are your other children?
I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. Actually, they're gonna be 11 and 9. My Their birthdays are March 20th and the 26th.
Oh, both March babies.
Yes, sir.
How cool is that? Wow, that's so cool. Okay.
It was not planned.
Understood, but it happens, right? Okay, so I want to validate and acknowledge the pain of a mother who loves their children, who is committed to the call of motherhood. I first just want to validate and affirm the calling that you have accepted to motherhood, to raise your children, to nurture your children, to protect your children, to educate your children. What a beautiful calling.
Thank you.
What a beautiful calling. And I can't imagine what it feels like for a mom to be disconnected from her children. Like I mean, I'm a man and a daddy, and I cannot fathom a scenario. And my daddy just was always like, like he always told my mom they never had no serious drama in their marriage, but he would always say like, if anything happened between me and your mother, y'all would have got kidnapped, because I just love y'all too much, right? And so to be restricted and it sounds like he's not even following court orders.
So, and that's another thing. Like the court order, pretty much, he's not. He is, but he's not. Like he uses the court order as a way to not even be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
It's very controlling because, like, for example, I was a student. I just graduated from Grand Canyon, but
Oh, congratulations.
thank you. So the thing is, it's like I like to travel. Like I like to go to churches. I don't know if you remember, but I was at the one conference in Chicago with Pastor Hannah.
Oh, awesome.
So like I like to go to these events and stuff when I can. You know what I mean? Like obviously you can't afford to go to everything all the time.
For sure.
So like with the traveling schedule, it's a little difficult because I would want to see my children for like extended periods of times, especially with the baby not being vaccinated. Like I would need them to be quarantined before they come here. So I need to know for a fact that they're not,
Yep.
interacting with things that aren't safe for them.
Right. Absolutely.
Or like that aren't safe for the baby.
Right. For sure.
So with that being said, like obviously since they're going to school, I can't ask them to quarantine for 14 days
Right.
while
Exactly.
in school.
Right.
So my reason for asking for the entire summer vacation, instead of doing like a weekend drop off, because I'm supposed to get them every other weekend, it's just, can I have them for the summer? Like if you really want to keep them over the school year, like that's fine. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that I understand that as a father you want to spend time with your children, and I would never be that type of person to be like, nah, you can't have your kids. Like
For
I
sure.
want them full time. I want them like 100% of the time. Like I've never been that person. And when we went to court, that is what the lawyer put in the papers, was that I was parental alienating him, even though any time that he wanted to see those children, he had full access.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems crazy that he would think 9 months on, 3 months off would be alienating.
Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with.
So let me use a word that you probably won't use because you're so kind. He's petty.
I won't use it. And yes.
Okay. Bro is petty, and that's just right? The pettiness is ugh. Okay.
Well, it started once he found out that I was like starting to redate, even though we were separated for years.
But this is what I'm saying. That level of pettiness, right? Like to use, I despise a parent that uses the children to indirectly, passive aggressively inflict pain, mentally, emotionally, relationally, through the kids. That is, it's a low blow. That's diabolical, as my kids would say. It's diabolical to do that. If you were single, he's cool to do whatever. But the moment you start dating and you remarry, and now all of a sudden you're alienating me from my kids. Yeah, nah, he's whack.
Thank you, because my husband says the same thing.
Yeah, I'm with your husband. Bro is whack. All right. All right. With that said, though, here's the question I want to ask you. Do you believe that you are a better protector than God?
No.
Okay.
I know for a fact I'm not.
Okay. Okay. Then this is one of those lessons when it comes to our children. Ooh, this is so hard to do. When it comes to our kids, our family members, the closest loved ones, the people that we love, our spouses. This is one of those scenarios where you learn, God, I can't control this, and so I put it into your hands.
Right.
It's painful to do. It's easier said than done. But it is a practice and it is a discipline to go, you know what? I can't control this man. He's petty. And he gonna stay petty, right? Without a move of God and a revival happening in this man's life, he just gonna be petty. And I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to keep it at petty. I feel like going off a little. I'm holding.
Go off. I don't.
This nigga is on my nerves. He's a whole Mitch, is what he is. He is a whole Mitch. I don't like him, and these games and these tactics that abusers use. You already had to leave them just to be safe, just for your body to be safe, for your mind to be safe. And then for him to use the kids to still indirectly be injurious towards you. Nah, I think, you know what I'm saying? If we was Italians, then I would ask for little Tony. Yeah. I would tell little Tony. Little Tony's 6'4", he's 300 pounds, but he's little.
It's my husband
Okay?
right there.
He's little, and little Tony carries an aluminum bat. We take this guy over here. We take the aluminum bat, we bing it against his shins. It makes a sound. Bing, bing. We make music on his shins, and we tell this guy, is the summer a problem? And once we make the music with his shins, he doesn't think the summer's a problem. Bada boom, bada bang, you're good. You have your kids, 14-day quarantine, then they can have a family reunion with their little brother, and then everything is good.
That would sound good to me, but we
girl,
can't do that.
it sounds good to me too, and I know we can't do it, but it just feels good to say.
It really does, though.
I just needed to say it.
I try to be cordial. I try to be the good person. I try to I'm trying to be the Christian.
Yes. Yes.
To be a Christian.
That's why we got to crucify our flesh. That's why we got to crucify our flesh. And so I just, now that I got that out, okay, Lord, you're in control. You're sovereign. We put this into your hands, and we know that you have a better way of handling this than we do, because we would get petty as well. And our righteousness on our best days is filthy rags. We're not just enough. We're not holy enough. We're not righteous enough to exact any type of judgment. So we leave this to you, but please just help my heart, protect my heart and my mind as I put this into your hands, because you're better at this than I am.
Amen.
But how do you feel to just get it out?
I feel good to just get it out because I've had to be that strong woman when it comes to not to accepting the fact that they're living there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
as a mom,
Yep.
that's like the most pain. It's literally your heart walking out of your body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have two pieces of my heart that are like completely far away.
Yep.
And so it's painful. And I had a therapist that I was working with, and then he just disappeared. So I have no idea what's going on with that.
Wow.
So like now I have to find a new therapist. And obviously, like when you open up for the first time with your therapist, you don't want to have to keep looking for new people. Like that's your person.
For
like,
sure.
You've already made that connection. So
Right.
I want my therapist back.
Right. Where's bro? Where'd he go?
So I don't know. I have a phone call today with, I guess, some people. I guess something happened like with his licensing or something.
Okay.
I don't know. He just disappeared. Like
Got you.
obviously they don't tell me anything because I'm a client.
Right, for sure. Oh, I've been through that. I had my first therapist that I was doing EMDR with. I just got an email and it was just like, hey, due to health reasons, this person's not going to be your therapist anymore. And, you know, they're really gracious about, you know, we have these other therapists that are here. But like you said, you create a bond with that person and it's like, no, I'm praying for divine healing because I want that one back.
Right. Like,
I ain't trying to tell my story that nobody knew.
it's the same thing. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll wait. I'll pray for him. Tell him I'm praying.
Exactly.
I'm waiting.
Exactly. Tell him I'll be here when he comes back. If it's temporary, tell him. If it's just a licensure thing, tell him I'll be here when he gets back. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I'm so proud of you for calling in today and for just listen. This is one of those things that feels to me like a pressure valve. Like it, you know, this situation is not going to go away anytime soon. So as that pressure builds up, just monitor it. And when it gets to the point that you need to vent, like always open your mouth, always make the call, always like venting is good. Venting will keep you from stabbing somebody in the face with a screwdriver.
I'm not that violent.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's me. I projected. I'm so sorry. That was me projecting 1,000%. She was like, "No, Tim, that belongs to you. That's not my narrative. I'm so sorry." Oh my God. Oh, that's my fault.
You're good.
Okay. Can I just say that your baby's laugh in the background is infectious? That is a yummy baby.
I would show him to you, but he gave himself a black eye on the floor.
Of course he did. He's a boy baby. That's what boys do. They're like, how much insurance do my parents have?
We gotta test it all.
Right. Let me jump off the stairs and see how far they're. Have they paid their premiums? Have they paid their deductible? We're about to find out. That's so funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did want to say one other thing. Well, because when Nisi was talking, a lot of the stuff you talked to her about did relate with me, but I did want her to know, like, when I was in high school, I had the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
I came from that type of world, so my ex-husband was using that against me.
Mm. Yeah, he's
which
foul.
Is another call that you had as well.
Yep.
So that's why I left the situation, is because there was no trust.
Mm-hmm.
So from leaving that world situation, and it's been over 20 years, I would just say, just keep your head up, Nisi. Like, you got this.
Oh, God. I love when a caller is encouraging another previous caller. Oh my God. Let there be more of that in Jesus' name. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I love you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you calling in. Hey, if you need to, next time you need to vent, pressure valve gets full, holla back, okay?
All right, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love you. Have a great day.
All right, love you too.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Hey, let me tell you something about Wide Open. When I tell you we can talk about anything, we can talk about anything. I'm telling you, we could talk about anything. I don't want you to think like, well, let me wait till I'm in the worst situation of my life to call in. You know what I'm saying? Like you might hear some of these calls and think to yourself, well, I don't have a situation that bad, so I don't think I should call in. We're wide open for a reason. Call in for whatever you want to talk about.
Yep.
If you're a Dallas fan and Luka's trade has left you just hopeless, and you have a Luka jersey and you have season tickets and you just feel like life is not worth any more Dallas Mavericks games, hey, call us. I would love to hold space for you. I won't remind you that he's a Laker. I'll just hold space for the fact that he's no longer a Maverick.
You are adorable.
Am I?
You are.
Okay.
And anybody can call.
I receive it.
Anybody can call in regards if they're like, yo, Unc, I need financial advice. I need parent advice.
Absolutely.
I need coaching advice. It doesn't have to be dire situations that
absolutely.
are SOS.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes there is SOS, and sometimes it's like Nisi was talking about, like, yo, I made a wreck in my finances.
Boom.
It's like, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And go listen to Anthony O'Neal.
Right now.
Go get all, like, I got plugs. I don't have to have all the answers. I got people that are smart in their respective fields. And so it's a beautiful thing.
Shout out Little Tony. Bada bing, bada bing, 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 bing.
Hey, I'm just telling you. Little Tony's my enforcer.
Little Tony.
I've known him since he was 6 years old. I had the guy start getting my newspaper when he was 6.
Thank you, Little Tony.
I would give him 50 cents. And I say, hey, boy, go over there and get my paper. You come back, I give you a little something for it. Okay. He go get my paper. He come back. You know, he wanted to smoke, Little Tony.
Little Tony.
He wanted to smoke. I wouldn't let him smoke. But I told him if he stayed loyal and when he got 18, I would give him something. He turned 18. I bought him a car.
Wow.
He's been with me ever since. Now, do I tell him to inflict pain when he goes to have these conversations? No. But I don't know what he does with his aluminum bat. It's his aluminum bat. I thought he was playing baseball. Maybe he's not playing baseball. It has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. I tell him to go over here and talk to this guy, and before I know it, this guy is amicable again. We're just trying to make peace around here. I'm a law-abiding citizen, is all I'm saying.
Little Tony.
Who's our next caller?
We got it. Hey, what's
Tell me
up,
who the
sis?
next caller is.
Yessie, welcome to the show.
Wasn't Yessie just on?
No, that was Yadaline.
Oh, is Yessie now on now?
Yessie's
Yessie is
on. What's up,
Yessie.
sis? How you doing?
You can pull that on TV.
Great. How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic. It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. Sorry, I'm so nervous.
Oh, it's good to see your face too. Yay, I get to see you. Hi.
Hi. I love you guys.
We love you
so
back.
much. I appreciate you guys holding this space. Okay, so I'll just preface my question, or I'll just say my question and then I'll preface it, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So, I feel, sorry, I'm really bad at eye contact.
It's okay.
I feel like God wants me to go into ministry.
Okay.
And that's really scary because I'm a planner,
Okay.
right? I plan everything out in my life. I have a plan. I have a plan B. I have a plan C. And this past year has really not been like that.
Okay.
And I just don't feel like I am, like, I know that when I talk, for whatever reason, like, people like it
Mm-hmm.
and people want to hear more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that I'm the right person to do it. But
Okay.
I just keep hearing him say, like, I called you to preach. Like, I literally heard that like a week ago.
Okay.
And I heard a few months ago, and it just keeps growing and things keep happening, you know?
Yep.
So to preface, I found, or I guess I met Jesus for the first time May 18th of 2024. So I'm really new.
Yep.
Um, I was at the darkest place that I've ever been. Like, I didn't want to live anymore. My husband and I were separating. We have 2 kids. I was overwhelmed. So many things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always say that it took me reaching the end of myself to find the beginning of God. Um, and I'm so happy that I did. And it was not easy, and it hasn't been easy, but I'm a veteran, so I have like PTSD, anxiety. I would have a panic attack at least once a day.
Wow.
And the day I met him, since that day, I'm no longer on medication. I haven't had a panic attack. Like, my life is just peace,
Praise
even in the
God.
midst of a separation.
Yeah.
I was in like complete isolation, but I drew so close to God. And I'm at the point now where I just want to be around him.
Yeah.
And I just want to get closer to him.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I really want to do, you know,
Yeah.
in my free time. So now, like almost a year later, right? Like, God has restored my marriage. My
Praise
family's
God.
back in one household.
Awesome.
And I'm still in nursing school, and all of that stuff. But again, like, that was my plan.
Hmm.
And now there's that one thing that keeps getting louder.
Okay.
So part of my college, it's a Lutheran university, so I have to take a religion course.
Yep.
And I took it in a condensed 4-week semester versus 16 weeks in
Okay.
January. And it was hard. Like, we had to read like 100 pages every day, write a 5-page to 6-page essay every day. Like, it was
Wow.
rough, right?
Yeah, that is rough.
But I have never been happier or enjoyed a class more.
Awesome.
And I literally got 100%. I didn't lose a single point.
Wow.
And that's not something I can say for any other class.
Hmm.
And during that time, I just felt God like saying it more and more. And then one of the people that I'm close to at church, I'm not close to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but I speak Spanish. Soy mexicana. So
Vale.
he wanted to start a Spanish small group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, like, I'm so willing to do this, right? Like,
Mhm.
we had to work out a couple things. My husband is still, he labels himself as Christian, but he doesn't practice Christianity
Okay.
in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's very uncomfortable with church, but I'll still share my faith and do whatever. I'm like, well, you live here and you're married to me, so that's what it is, right?
Exactly. Right.
Sorry, it's so long. So anyways, it turned from a small group with 3 people to literally within a week, because we had told one of like I guess he's part of leadership, but he's not an assistant pastor, but he used to pastor some people a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like, oh, like, I hadn't seen the people that I used to pastor, which were a full like Spanish congregation, in like years. And this week, 3 days after we had told him about our small group that we were planning on doing or something, he's like, I saw them, which I don't believe in coincidences. I think God does things for a reason. That's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, and they're willing to bring all of their group down so that they could join you. So then it turned
Wow.
from like this really tiny thing to this huge thing. And I'm like, okay, is this like now like God just kind of like, hey, bold letters, neon sign, like, this is what you're meant to do? But that's so scary. And then I'll add this last part, but like, I opened up to my husband about it for the first time this weekend, because he didn't know that I had been feeling this or that I was even starting the small group. Like, it's really hard for me to talk to him about these things just because he's just a lot happened right in the past year.
Yep, absolutely.
And this part I didn't like, but he's just like, well, he did grow up in a Pentecostal church, but he's just like, well, I guess it wouldn't be a problem if it's just a small group, but women aren't meant to do this and you're not supposed to do this. And then he brought up Paul and Timothy, and he's just like, so, I mean, you're not supposed to do this, so I don't think that it's a good idea. But again, I don't want anything religious in my house. And that was really hard for me to hear, but I also know that more than anything, I'll follow what God tells me
Absolutely
before
correct.
I follow anything
Absolutely
else.
correct. Absolutely.
So yeah, I just need help.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this with me and trusting me to process it with you. First question I want to ask is, no, first, let me say something first. First, I love you.
I love you too.
Te quiero mucho.
Yo también.
Sí. Segundo, what are you afraid of the most?
There's a lot, right? Like, there's like, how am I gonna like provide, right? Because like my husband and I separated, and we did, end up fixing things, and we're back together. But now I just don't know if, like, we have to go to counseling and see if this is like actually gonna work right. And like, if I'm a single mom of two, how, like, I have nowhere to start. I have no formal education. So it's just like a lot of things like that. And then like, again, like what if I suck at it? I don't know. Like, what if I'm not meant to do this? Like, what if I'm just crazy and I'm hearing stuff in my head and I'm just like a Jesus freak right now because I love him so much and I'm just feeling that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I can identify with you, and I can let you know that, you got saved last May, correct?
Yeah.
And we're coming up on a year, and you feel this call to preach. You feel this burden to preach. I got saved I got saved January 14th of 96. I preached my first sermon February 25th of 96. 5 weeks later. And I've been preaching ever since. Okay. The girl I was dating at the time told me that this was a phase that was going to go away, and she compared it to when she made the cheerleading squad. She was like, your excitement right now is basically when I got accepted to the cheerleading squad, and it'll wear off. And clearly we broke up because the moment she compared my salvation to the cheerleading squad, I knew this relationship was over, right? But she's a sweet girl.
Got you.
Yeah. Right. With that said, though, obedience is better than any sacrifice. And obedience has to supersede any fear. So when you I hear a lot of people that quote this particular scripture. A lot of times it's so out of context because they just try to think it's a magical scripture that you could just slap anywhere. They don't even know the context of it to even know how to apply it outside. But as soon as you said, I'm a planner, I plan everything, I identify with you wholeheartedly because I am a planner. Like,
yeah,
I don't like spontaneity. The only one that can get me to do something spontaneous, and that's after I eye roll 7 times, is Juliet. Anybody else is screwed because I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's not on my calendar. It doesn't exist. Hey man, hey, do you think tomorrow we can? Nope. Let me look at my I'll look at the date. Nope. I'm not free again until Tuesday of June, right? Like I am a planner. I live by my calendar. Eunice holds me down on that. She's amazing. But Jeremiah 29:11 is the first thing that popped in my head for you. Because you have plans and that's fine. But God has plans too. And literally what it says is, for I know the plans that I have in mind for you, declares Adonai. Plans for shalom, for peace, and not calamity, to give you a future and a hope. Most of the things we plan can only at best deal with our present. We try our best to plan for the future, but we don't know. But his plans trump my plans, which brings me to another verse. And I want to make sure you get these verses so you can stand on them and rehearse them on the days that you get really, really intimidated or scared. So that's Jeremiah 29:11 is the first one. The second one is Proverbs 16:9.
Mm-hmm. I'm like getting my pen right now.
No worries. Yeah, Proverbs 16:9. The heart of man plans his course, but Adonai directs his steps. The way the NOT reads it, I just read it in the TLV. TLV has me in a death grip right now. Not a death grip, maybe just.
I'm literally like looking into it right now, and I'm like, no, I have to finish my first Bible
Right.
cover to cover.
Yeah. And then you'll get it. It's I promise you, you're gonna love it. But the way NLT renders that verse, it's we make our own plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And I needed that verse as a planner when I first started off. Like, I'm so glad I found that scripture because I'm wired to be a planner. I'm wired. That's just the way I'm wired. And so I'm so grateful that he allows me to still go through all of my process. But then ultimately, I have to be okay with his plan.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know it's hard, but it's so much better, even after it's all scary and stuff, the way it works out. Like it just works out so much better. And so I'm just encouraging you to be brave enough to do it, even though all of these odds say not to, even your husband. Right? I have been a lead pastor. I obviously believe that women are called to preach. I know the scriptures. I honor the scriptures, all of them, including the scriptures of Paul's writings. And for your husband to quote Paul and Timothy as if Timothy wrote something and he didn't, right? Paul wrote it. Paul has places where he wrote something about women in the Corinthian church, and he wrote to Timothy and also had something to say about women keeping silent. And I believe, I truly believe that what Paul wrote was cultural. I do not believe it was universal. I just don't believe it. And there's enough scripture to support women in ministry in a way that makes me very, very confident that you can get a call from the Lord and preach the gospel. If he was only leaving it in the hands of man, we're screwed. The thing that they always say, what I hear from all the men is like the woman's supposed to teach at home, and scripture has something to say about that, but I think that was a cultural contextualization. I don't believe it was universal for all women in all cultures for all time. But the question I always ask these guys is, if you got a husband and a wife, if the wife could no longer use her voice in the home, would the house be okay? And then no, the house wouldn't be okay. Okay, cool. If the church never hears a woman's voice, do you think the church can be okay?
I don't think so.
I don't think it can.
Okay.
The perspective of a man reading scripture, and you're only going to hear from men reading scripture, and the woman doesn't have a perspective. The women preachers that I've allowed to preach at Embassy City Church and that have been a part of my teaching team, I was never going to see what they see in scripture. I've been preaching almost 30 years. I've never seen when a woman opens the text and has a sermon to preach, there's a perspective and a lens that they see through because of their gender and because of their body. I was never going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And they inform my theology because as a man, there's certain things that I've preached and they've showed me, yo, do you know how this sounds to a woman? And I'm like, you'll never hear that again. So I obviously there's going to be people that disagree with us on this, and I can hold that tension. But listen, I just think there's bigger fish to fry than to be worried about if a woman is called to declare the gospel of Jesus Christ, as if we don't need everybody to hear it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Some people don't need to hear the gospel from a man. Because if you're going to be preaching the gospel and be a perv, you might as well sit down too.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
If you're going to preach the gospel and be a perv, you might as well sit down too. So, I want to affirm and validate your call. And if you can't do it brave, if you don't feel this like boldness to preach, then just do it scared.
Yeah.
And you're not in control of where it goes.
Okay.
Your response to this call is to be open to preach. And if it's starting in the small group, then just starting in small group. You're not responsible for where it goes. And oh, by the way, the Lord knows how to talk to your husband. You obey the voice of the Lord. The Lord knows how to get homie's attention. If he tries to hinder what you're about to do, you ain't got to fight with your boo. The Lord knows how to holler at your boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I add?
Yes, of
really
course.
Quick?
Yeah.
So I guess my journey with school started when I was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the military too, but now I'm out, thankfully. So I had my daughter. She's my oldest. She just turned 4, and I started my prereqs, and I fought for my life. It felt like a lot of the time to try to make it into nursing school. And it's really, really hard to get into nursing school. And even in it right now, it's like, it's a lot. And I guess it also just feels like I'm too deep in to quit. And I don't know what to do, because I'm in a year, I'll be in my last semester, right? And I literally told my religion professor this in January. I was like, if I would have found your class earlier, I would be a religion major and I would try or be in seminary or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like the first time I ever said that out loud.
Yeah.
I cried a lot, but I did. So how do you know if you're like, I don't know, like I just don't know where to go with this. Like, do I just pursue this? It's not even a small group. I guess I forgot. We're gonna have like a full-blown service Easter.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
somehow this happened like overnight. It felt like
Yep.
it was just like within a week. It's like boom, this is what we're doing, and I'm like, okay, I'm so nervous, right? But do I just pursue it and let it go from there and keep doing what I had planned? I don't know. I'm so lost.
¿Es servicios en español?
Sí, por la
Wow.
primera vez en la historia de la iglesia.
Wow. Eso es especial.
Yeah.
Es muy
But I'm
especial.
not speaking, but I am helping plan.
Sí. Vale.
And it
Okay.
just happened. I blinked and it went from, hey, we're going to plan in March, a small group, to like, hey, we're planning a full service for Easter. And there's already a full house, basically. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I did nothing. Like, I just brought up saying, yeah, like, I
Yeah.
just said yes and it happened.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't, it's crazy.
I understand. Girl, I understand more than you can realize. Okay, so let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to nursing school,
Yes.
where's your gut on it?
My gut is do it in case all else fails, which is bad.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'm too deep in it
Okay.
to quit.
But let's go back to the other thing you said. Do it in case all else fails. Okay, so let me ask this question. If you knew it wasn't going to fail, what would you do?
I would quit.
Okay. All right. This is always case by case. So I don't need nobody else listening to this conversation right now to be like, yeah, I'm about to quit my job too. Tim said yes, he could chunk deuces. I'm out too. Tim said yes, he could drop out of her nursing school. I'm out of my major too. I'm talking to Yessie, y'all. Okay. Talking to Yessie, all right? All right, so here's what I'm gonna say. If you quit nursing school, you would quit nursing school to do what?
Follow God and just try to build this. And I don't know, I try to like go to seminary or take religion courses and just be the best at what I think he's calling me to do.
So you would be Peter and James and John and Matthew and Philip and Thomas. Oh, so you're saying you would be all the other guys that quit their job to follow Jesus?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're saying that you would be like all the rest of the people that dropped their vocation to follow the Messiah.
Yeah.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back.
Okay. Thank you.
Pray about it until you get the ultimate peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if that,
Sorry, I can't stop
yeah,
crying for some reason.
say that again.
I said sorry. I can't stop crying for some reason.
Oh no, your body's present in this moment, and the tears are good. I would just ask you not to be afraid.
Okay.
Don't be afraid.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
All right.
It's gonna take time, but I'll work on it.
No, I appreciate you. Hey, I also thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I never go without honoring people that have served our country, and I appreciate your service.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what to say. Sorry, it's always awkward for us. But
No, it's all
thank
good.
you.
It's all good. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I
Fo-
love you too. And
follow what you're
again,
hearing.
Thank you.
Okay. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. We love you.
Wow, Yessie. Come on, Jesus. We need good preachers. Especially in the Hispanic community.
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on. Don't get me started on
What?
that.
Like,
Holy Smoke.
you know,
Come on, Holy Smoke. What do you got to say?
Yeah, Hooli. Get started on it. Yeah, get started on it, Hooli.
It's just everything is under the rug, and I'm sorry, but Hispanics are so judgmental. Oh,
Shout out
like
Latinos.
in my family, in churches, they're so dramatic. Like, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
Just over it.
The superficiality is crazy.
Yeah.
The patriarchy is crazy.
Yeah.
The entitlement is crazy.
Say that again.
The entitlement is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah. It's a good day. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good.
That was good. It's a good day.
Amen.
It's a really good day. Shout out to 1,000 dwellers in the chat.
Y'all like that thing, man.
In the live chat. Love you guys. Susan. Nos hace mucho falta tener vulnerabilidad en la iglesia hispano.
Oh yeah.
Sí.
Oh yeah. And like it's so I'm like even thinking through my family and through my childhood, it's like, oh no, you can't tell them that we're dealing with this. You can't tell them that we're struggling with this. It's like you have to look your best and you have to appear your best, and it's so stressful. It's so stressful.
Yeah, that is stressful. Like all of those optics are just dumb.
You can say that again.
They're just dumb.
Amen.
All that putting on and spouses fighting all the way up till they get to the church, and then they're like, praise the Lord. Isn't the Lord glorious? Terrible. We got our next
Alicia,
call.
are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
sis?
Alicia. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, it's good to see
thank
you.
You too. In the car.
Okay.
But it's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet
I
you
had
too.
plans on driving to come see you tonight, but things didn't work out that way for what we're going to talk about.
Okay,
you
no
know.
worries. It's the thought that counts. I appreciate it.
But yes. And I'm gonna be honest, all of the calls before now somewhat did the job.
Wow. I
Like
love
the
when
3
that
calls
happens.
before me, it did the job. And I say that because once you hear God and I guess, stop playing,
Mm-hmm.
or either he has to sit you down,
Mm-hmm.
as the young lady said before,
Mm-hmm.
and you accept to be obedient, then he guides you, like
Yes,
he
ma'am.
leads you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So basically every call had something to do with what I needed to talk about, but it got answered.
That's so awesome.
But just I was calling to ask, how will you stay focused once you've been sat down?
Mm.
And I don't want to say chastised, but
Mm-hmm.
you've been shown you're sitting down, because you were disobedient. Now I can do what I need to do in you,
Right. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it quick because Jesus Christ, the backstory of it is entirely too much.
Okay.
But long story short, I had been divorced. I've been divorced about 4 years.
Okay.
Married when I was very young, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And the marriage was beautiful, but there was more hard times than beauty.
Okay.
Just being real. 2 young people who think they're grown.
Yep.
They think they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things in life that we hadn't even experienced to become equipped to be a partner.
Right. Understood.
So in that marriage, a lot of things did fall on him,
Mm-hmm.
because he was the head.
Mm-hmm.
There were things that I didn't get because he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it led to divorce. Abuse was a really big thing in it.
Okay.
Now, while we were divorced, abuse was still happening because not being obedient. I should have, you know, picked my head up and kept it moving.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know how you have that hope. You have that hope. You're like, well, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got hurt next to a Trader Joe's parking lot, and it caused him to have to go to jail.
Wow.
Even in the midst of that, I went to court, and it was no longer about me. There was only so much I can do because it was in the parking lot.
Understood. Right.
And even then, I felt like God said, I let it happen out here because if it was in that house, you wouldn't have did nothing about it. You would have kept doing it, kept putting up with it. So fast forward, my heart is still open to him, and I'm still trying to show love as if I'm the savior of the earth, as if I got all power to change hearts,
Right.
Some things were done that I felt wrong to me.
Okay.
I have a lot of things in the divorce papers that give me the rights to a lot of things.
Okay.
But again, not being obedient, not listening, I opened up that door to allow it to help him too. And that was taken advantage of. I wasn't being talked to. I was being ignored. So I went to his job, not in anger, but to say, hey, when you're done, we need to talk. You're not answering me. Long story short, I'm in handcuffs.
Wow.
I'm in handcuffs. And I think what broke me was, in my heart, I knew all the times I could have called.
Right.
I knew all the times I could have said, hey, he's shown up. And this is not to down him.
Right.
This
Understood.
is me telling my story.
Absolutely.
But to pick up the phone with ease and to call 911
Yep.
and to say, this lady is abusing me and harassing me when I have chunks of my arm missing from being abused, stab wounds, when I have all this stuff, and to be okay with it, to be okay. I mean, the call was it was so easy to call on me.
Yeah.
And I felt like it may have been now it's your turn, But man, I lie to you not. My dad, as a child, he was rough. He's a pastor. He was rough because he was that old school, I got to beat you into knowing, what's right. He didn't mean no harm, but that's all he knew.
Right.
So I see where me meeting the one I married, where it stems from. I get it.
I get it.
I completely understand.
Yep.
But man, if he wasn't my hero ever, he was my hero that day, because all I heard him on the phone, and I'm crying. I'm crying now in this parking lot because I'm saying, how dare you? How could you do this to me when I endured everything with you? I've given you 5 children. You were my first. I loved you. I gave you me, and this is how you do me. But all I could hear in the background was my daddy. He said, now you hold your head up. He's screaming it. He said, when they put them cuffs on you hold your head up. Don't you stop letting them see you cry. And that's what got me.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, when I went behind them bars for them 24 hours, and I'm not saying God ain't never showed up for me before, because he had.
Yes, ma'am.
But man, I don't have the same story as other people. I was taken care of in that jail. From the cop that was taking me, he looked at me and said, I want you to remember Daniel. I want you to remember David. And he said, I want you to remember the 3 Hebrews. Take God with you. Like it was a fear because it was new.
Yeah.
I never,
Yeah,
it
for
shouldn't
sure.
even been there in the first place.
Absolutely.
But God protected me. I felt nothing but love from the inmates, from the guards, just everything.
Yeah.
I didn't get talked too bad. When I got there, one of the inmates made my bed up. It was just God saying, and it no longer became about him.
Yep.
You know, the anger towards him left because I felt like once they put those cuffs on my hands, that last little thread that was, because I felt the guilt like I had to be there for him
Yep.
because I was married to him.
Yep.
Felt like, oh man, if I leave him, that's erasing all of the few good times we had.
Yep.
You know, it was manipulation. It was just manipulated. But once they put me in them cuffs and put me in that car, whatever thin little strand that was left, it got cut. Not saying I hate him,
Right, for sure.
but that guilt left. It left like, okay, how much more do I have to show you?
Absolutely.
Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Let it go.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And I got out Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and he messaged me Friday morning, early in the morning.
Are you
12
talking about
a.m.
last
I
Thursday?
just want to know, are we? Yeah.
Oh, this
The
recent.
day after I got out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes.
This 6
it
days
happened
ago.
Wednesday.
This 6 days ago.
It happened Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh man, and you know, I feel like I'm just wrestling with my spirit is at peace.
Okay.
I'm so serious.
Yep.
When I say that shook me enough to say, my daughter, I told you to let him go. You didn't die for his sins.
Right.
What are you thinking that you are just so omnipotent to where you can show enough love that's gonna change him?
Yes, good.
Enough.
That's good.
Even the Bible tell you, dust your feet off.
Yeah.
You know, once you done did what you can dust it, and I was not getting that.
Yes.
I had so much guilt that this marriage failed because of me, because it was so young. I could not get that in my brain. That listen, if he don't want to change, he can't. He can't.
Yeah, for sure.
So my question was what I asked you first, but like I said, it was answered so much with this. But there are times when my spirit, well, my flesh will tell me you want to be mad.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to not forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
Since he called you to get locked up because, you know, you went to his job and some chicken fell on the ground, you know, because that's what they charged me for.
Mm-hmm.
Because his chicken fell on the ground.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous.
I don't want to be mad.
Right.
It did. That's what it and that's what it says. It's called criminal mischief or something. I knocked his chicken down. I hurt his chicken. But
I'm so sorry to laugh. That's just...
It's one of those things. It's okay. No, it's funny now.
Yeah.
You know, when it was happening,
Of course. Of course.
it was like, what in the world? But it just showed me that I feel like I have slowed myself down. You know, many women, we talking about, you know, women conferences, how to build women and tell them, leave poison. How am I going to stand before women and tell them, hey, leave poison when I'm sitting here holding on to something that God told me 4 years ago to let go of?
Yes.
You know, so it was no longer about him. Once I got in that police car, God was talking to me. And all I could do was thank him.
Right.
I said, I thank you. Yeah, I was hurt. But Lord, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's my fault. I take response, should have been stopped, you know? But I do wrestle with the flesh now.
Yep.
I wrestle with when my spirit is like, hey, when you go to court next Wednesday, it's gonna be, oh, you know, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
But that flesh is like, well, since he called the police on me, I give him something to call the police for. You know what I mean? That's the feeling the flesh put in you.
Of course.
My spirit is okay.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
flesh like, oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
I parked next to his car. If I wanted to be hateful and I could have busted the window, slashed the tire. I waited patiently till he got off work. I didn't yell. Nobody would have even knew I was there unless I said it.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, for
they
sure.
only knew, hey, she was there because he told them.
Right, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So it was just, I think that's what I think that's, those two things are the things now that I am tackling and put in its place that was for me.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how sad that was for me.
Absolutely.
I should have been obedient. I should have stopped.
Yep.
I should have stopped just thinking, hey, sending you money, like just little stupid stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Just
Absolutely.
not listening
Yeah.
to the one who wakes me up in the morning.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
instead, I took it upon myself. Oh, I'm gonna help change. That's stupid. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it was not smart.
Yeah.
It wasn't smart.
Understood.
And I've learned. I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. But man, that flesh throughout the day, it be telling me, all right, well then, since he want to do that, go put some nails under his tire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm serious.
Yeah, put some
I
sugar
done
in his
thought some
tank.
stuff.
Absolutely. I got some ideas.
I done thought some stuff. I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm not
But
gonna even.
God is good
I'm
though.
not gonna even give them to you because mine are
These
effective
songs
and
I got
nobody will
now.
know.
Okay, I know that. I'm telling you, I know it. But man, God is good. I'm serious.
He is.
When I tell you this was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever experienced.
Mm,
And people will say how, but it was beautiful because it I had nobody else
yeah.
but God. I
Yep.
had nobody else but to lean on to him to say, Lord, I'm sorry. It was almost like Jonah.
Yeah.
I done asked you to do stuff. You ain't doing it.
Right.
So it's like, what are some things I can do to kind of help this flesh and stay focused?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the truth that I still love them. I'm
Yeah,
just
for
being
sure.
real with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Absolutely.
does that mean love them enough to get remarried? No,
No.
no, no, no,
No. Absolutely.
no. But I love and I still care.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I still care. You know. So that's what I need. I
Okay.
need some encouragement to, yeah.
Well, not only can I encourage you, but you're encouraging our audience that's been listening in the same way you felt like the 3 previous callers encouraged you. I think you're encouraging the 3 previous callers because you were vulnerable enough to allow us to see you and hear you to express what happens when you don't obey God when he tells you to. There's going to be a consequence, right? You're going to go past the line and then you're going to go, okay, Lord, all right. But now we gotta go to a court date because I knocked this nigga's chicken on the floor. Right? It's like, it's just, it don't even need to be that. Right? It don't even need to be that. My encouragement to you is, listen, if I had time to talk about all of the lessons I have learned because of what I didn't do, he remains faithful. Even when we don't do what we were supposed to do. And even if it comes with consequences, there's a lesson we learn from that consequence that gets us to the side that you are on now, which is, oh, you ain't got to talk to me about this again. I will never forget in my 20s, I don't know. Maybe other 20-year-olds weren't like me, but in my 20s, I just didn't think car insurance was important. It's a racket, right? I'm not going to get in an accident. I'm too good of a driver to get in an accident, right? I'm not just thinking about who I'm gonna hit. Ain't nobody gonna hit me. I'm that aware, right? Every time I got pulled over, license or registration, I don't have and then it was like, okay, you got to produce it when you come to do the ticket or whatever. Anyway, that happened so many times because I had a really heavy foot in my 20s. Like I still got a heavy foot, but like I was mashing the gas. I was going 100 miles an hour to Walmart. It makes no sense. So I'll never forget, me and Juliet were living in Carrollton. I was taking a shower. Two policemen knocked on the door around 7:45 at night. And they were like, we have a warrant for Tim's arrest. I came down the stairs with a towel on. And they were like, hey, Mr. Ross, we coming to get you. Just as casual. Because I ain't no criminal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't show up to his job with guns and a flamethrower. You just came to talk, right? And because his chicken rolled twice on the floor, you had to go to jail, right? And so I went upstairs. They let me get dressed. Came down. I put myself in the position for them to put the cuffs on if that needed to be the case. And because my mom worked for the LAPD, I already knew how to do the fingerprints. I was telling them, this is how you roll from left to right and all that kind of stuff. And you only going to get a good fingerprint if you really smear it across the front. You got to press your finger down. They was looking at me like, why are you in here? Oh, because I'm the dude that just didn't think insurance was important. So I was in jail overnight like you. Let me tell you how much I know I wasn't meant for jail and or prison. They said dinner time. I don't know why I expected them to come with a plate from my house. But them niggas said dinner time, and it was a honey bun.
Yeah.
It was a honey bun. I was so offended. I'm so
Yes.
bougie. I'm so bougie and offended. A honey bun? This is dinner?
Yeah.
I gave it to my celly. I was like, y'all think I'm gonna eat a honey bun for dinner, nigga? Y'all are crazy. And I handed my honey bun to my celly. He was happy. And I wound up talking to him till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And he talked about the fact that he had given his life to Christ and backslid. And I actually led him back to the Lord. And around 8 o'clock in the morning, I heard, Ross, somebody posted bail for you. And I got out. I ain't been back since. Right? I got love for you in my heart. It ain't gonna come out of my mouth, and it can't come out of my wallet, and it can't come with my presence. You don't deserve it. You don't know how to steward it. You've always abused it. I see it clearly now. I can't come around your way no more. Boy, I wish you knew how much I loved you. Boy, I wish you knew how much you lost a prize. Boy, I wish you'd grow up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since you can't, bye.
Yeah. And I forgive. I'm so serious when I tell you there's not a lick of anger.
Yep.
Because there was only a thin thread still. I don't know what it was. But it was a peace. I almost feel free. No, I do feel free.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the handcuffs brought freedom.
Yes.
Because it was like, for the
Wow.
last time, you didn't protect me.
Wow.
And that's okay now.
Wow.
I was like, you didn't protect me the 13 years.
Mm.
And the one time God was giving you to protect, because you could have got in your car and pulled off.
Right.
But instead, you wanted a ha-ha moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what he told me. He said, oh, you going to see how jail feel this time. He said, it's not, he said, jail doesn't make you the same person. And I said, I hope I hope I do come out a different person. That way I won't feel so obligated to loving you.
Well, if he ain't ever prophesied accurately before, he did that one time, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we
And
don't
I
feel
mean
the
it.
same way about
I'm
bro
at
no
peace.
more.
I'm serious. I am at peace.
Yeah.
It's just that wrestle where when sometimes I'm sitting down and it'll come to my head and I'll be like, oh, that's stupid. Oh, wait, Lord, forgive me. Nope. And
Right.
I'll start trying to speak the total opposite, because what I don't want to do is downplay this season when this season is what's finna shift and bring me to everything God wants me to do.
That part.
I feel that that's disrespectful.
That's
That's
exactly right.
disrespectful. Lord, I'm praying. Lord, show me what I need to do. Lord, show me so I can bring people to the gospel. Show me so I can help my daddy in his church. But something happens to shake me to say, this is what's hindering you. He brings it to my forefront, and now I badmouth the process.
Right.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No.
I want to accept it and say, Lord, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, and there is a from the time I got on with you, there is an authority in your voice.
Yes.
Oh,
that has been God given. And you were not going to be able to flow in that authority still tethered emotionally to this man.
amen.
And now you are free and clear. Now you are free and clear.
Amen.
This court date
Praise God.
is about to be, it's just about to be emotion. It's just going through the motions. But you free and clear after this. You free and
Amen.
clear after this. And the other thing I got to tell you, you have the cutest nose.
Oh, Lord.
You have the
Look, they
cutest
used to talk
nose
about
I'm
me in
going to see
school
this
about it.
week. Huh?
They used to jang me in school about it. They used to call it a putt-putt.
It is the cutest nose. What are you talking about? I love it.
Well, thank God.
It's
I appreciate
so
it.
cute.
Listen, I only did this video because I'm trying to boost the self-esteem.
Let's
Because
go.
I'm trying to remember that I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Let's
Because I wasn't
go.
going to.
Yes.
This was me saying, Lord, all right, now I'm free. Let's start showing it a little bit.
Let's
Try.
go.
Let's try to show something.
Yeah. Hey, I'm hyped. I'm glad you even told me that little detail because that is like, I can't tell you how many people need to hear that and know that.
Yes.
Like, don't be scared of this video.
At all.
Like, this ain't about optics and looks and like, be okay with who you are. Makeup, no makeup. We had somebody on like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
She was like, my edges ain't everything going up. She was
so
just
good.
like, my hair is just what it is, and y'all gonna have to deal with it today. So I'm proud of you.
Man.
I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for calling in, Alicia. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for you. You've done more for me since January 1st than you know.
Wow.
You actually started the process of the praying for healing.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you had a session up with a young man and he was blaming himself.
Yep.
I can't remember his name. He was blaming himself. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't even remember clicking it.
Wow.
But I guess I clicked it and it was playing on the TV and you began the process. So I'm grateful. Like this experience is beautiful because I see what it did.
Yes.
So I'm grateful. I faithfully listened to you. And I'm sorry I can't see you tonight. Hopefully, I passed the tickets on. Hopefully who there is for them.
For sure.
And they get to enjoy you.
Absolutely.
But I'm grateful for you.
Thank you so much. I love you, Alicia.
Thanks.
Have a
Love you,
great day.
Alicia.
I
Love
love
you.
you.
Okay. We love
too.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Wow.
Man, if she was my mom and talked to me like that, I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I would not mess with her.
She is. What I love when somebody can take a L, learn from the experience, share it with the community.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, don't be me.
Yeah.
And like, I got my confirmation now. So listen, some things you got to taste.
Mm-hmm.
Some things got to have such a bitter taste in your mouth that you're like, yeah, I ain't gonna ever do that again.
Yeah.
And sometimes, again, we try to learn as much as we can through experience and through wisdom and through others' mistakes. But the stuff you do yourself, listen, I'm usually one and done. In my household, I got the least spankings of all my brothers. Cause I was like, man, please. When my daddy whipped me for something, I'm like, I bet you gonna have to find something different to whip me for. Cause I ain't gonna be stupid twice in this area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't get a lot of whoopings, but I got some. But every one I got, I deserved, cause I was out of pocket. I was out of pocket. I was so out of pocket.
Can I ask you a question?
Ask me a question and see what happens. Cause we ain't got no more calls.
Okay, bet.
So when I got whoopings,
Oh, wow.
they were kind of like, my parents are great. I love my parents, but they definitely did it out of anger.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
the worst.
Caleb's parents did it well because they would cool down and then spank them.
Yep.
And so I want to know your.
I was a cool down spanker.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't I had conversations with my kids before. I could bring them both in here and be like, tell them how your spankings went. It was literally like an interview. Like I had an interview with them. Like, hey.
Like, do you know why you're gonna get spanked?
Yeah. Like how did we get here?
Mm.
And do you understand why what you did deserves leather on your skin?
Ouch.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, we get it. And once they have full understanding, come over here. Instant tears. And I was like, hold my hand.
Aw.
Because I ain't about to be chasing you around the room. And you know what I mean?
Oh, not for comfort.
No, not for comfort. It was like, hold the hand. Because I'm about to. And tap, tap, tat, 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 tat.
What were your spankings like? Like with your parents?
Oh, my daddy and my mama would get busy on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, it was quick retribution. Like, it was like, oh, what? Oh, get the belt. It wasn't like, no, you're going to have to wait and psychological warfare and you waiting all day and maybe they'll forget and then they come in, cack. Nah, They was like, oh no, it's on site, my nigga. Like you did this now, it's going down right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know there's some people that's like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. And da da da. I am me, because of that braided belt, that government issued belt. And I needed it for the season I was in. There's something about pain. There's something about pain, and once the boys got to the age and stage where it's like, I don't feel good about doing this anymore. This is not effective.
Yeah.
Bear crawls,
Yeah.
push-ups,
Yeah.
squats, running laps,
Rutina.
stairs,
Burpees.
Yeah.
burpees, stairs. One night I caught them slipping so bad. It may have been like 20 degrees outside.
Oh.
And they did 120 flights of stairs.
Dang.
Mira.
You're putting us on game though.
When they were done,
Mhm.
Nathan's whole body locked up.
Mm.
It's like 1:00 in the morning. I need 120. And it was up, down, 1. Up, down, 2.
Wow.
His whole body.
Oh, that'll teach you.
His whole body locked up. Did not give a damn.
Yeah.
Hopefully your body locking up just told you, don't you ever do this while you live in my house again.
Yeah.
Or it'll be 240. I'll just double it. Everybody has a breaking point. I will find yours.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had them do bear crawls in the middle of the night. Watch out for snakes. I got 3 acres.
Yeah.
It was a legitimate call out. But don't pick your elbows up and don't put your knees up. Bear crawl. So yeah, you gotta know.
Yeah. And you gotta know your kid.
You gotta
Like,
know
that's
your
what
kid.
That's what I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my nephew. He would get spanked, but it wouldn't do anything. So they took his stuffed animals away, and it changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta feel the consequence. Your words ain't it. For a small child, your words ain't it.
Yeah.
Your conversation ain't doing nothing to them.
Yeah.
At this stage and stuff now, my disappointment affects them. But 11, 12, 13, 14,
Yeah.
they're aloof. They don't know nothing
Yeah.
except pain. You give them some pain, then they're like, I don't think I want to do that again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run laps. I'm gonna have to do burpees, you know. So
Good day.
it's been a good
Buen
day.
dia.
I'm a drive to 7 Mile, pick up the homie, and then we're gonna drive out to Houston and do this show to this evening.
Going out to Scrooston.
Are you guys gonna listen to music? Are you guys gonna talk? Are you just gonna sit in
Silence.
silence? Hey, sometimes road trips.
I
yeah.
usually put on jazz.
Ooh, I love that.
Relax your brain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
love
jazz
that.
dude.
That jazz hip hop vibe that you be busting. Those are slaps, man. Those are slaps.
So yeah, it's been a really good day. Thank y'all so much. Okay, Ashlyn, we love you. Have a great day. Lorenzo, I'm so appreciative of my butt whoopings when I was bad. When I was a bad little niño. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, absolutely. You know, shout out to 1100 in the chat.
Yup.
Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Like that thing. Wait, is it Noel's birthday? Dwellevator, is it your birthday?
It
Is
your
that real?
birthday. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
It's Dwellevator's birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Dwellevator. Happy birthday to you.
español. Feliz cumpleaños feliz.
Hey, hey.
Feliz cumpleaños feliz.
Come on.
Feliz cumpleaños feliz. Feliz cumpleaños feliz.
A ti.
A
Manta.
ti. A ti.
That was the best. That was the best.
I don't know.
That must have been Colombian.
Yeah, that's,
Colombian power.
Well,
Hey.
no, we got different versions of that.
Yeah.
We got different
better.
versions.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey,
Oh.
but seriously, Dwelevator, we love you, man.
Yes, you are the best.
Noel.
You are the best.
yeah, you're one of the,
Rockin'.
you're a dope moderator, my guy.
Noelle, she's like the dweller historian. Like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's ever anything, they're like, yo, when did Tim say this? She'll be like, hold on. And she'll come with a timestamp, a date, and the clip.
Is Dwelevator a court stenographer?
She might as well be.
She's like,
It blows my mind, literally. And she's a sweetheart. And she be
Yeah,
praying
she's
over
a
the
mama
community.
bear.
She be
Yeah.
praying over the community, and she's just great.
She's like the best person to celebrate your whole life.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've never met anyone like her.
I love it.
definitely OG too.
OG dwellers up in the building.
Yeah, first
There's
generation.
a lot of
Crazy.
March babies.
That means that there was a lot of fall humping.
Oh, a lot
yep.
of thankfulness.
Yep.
No,
yeah.
no. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Shout out.
No, March, I guess. No,
¿Cuántos? ¿6? Oh,
No, that's not-
Summer?
that's like summer.
Oh.
They were having hot sex.
Freedom. Independence.
Yeah. They were having hot sex.
Oh God.
Hot sex produces
That's
the,
gross. Me and my
I-
twin were born in March, and I'm just getting a visual of my parents.
your parents humped.
In Jersey?
I started
Or-
at
or
Jersey.
in Colombia.
In Colombia with no AC.
oh,
Oh.
Nope.
Sweaty sex.
Ugh. Oh,
They
no.
had sweaty sex.
Oh my gosh.
There was perspiration.
With little perrito.
They both had to shower after,
Ugh.
and y'all were just in there.
I can't.
Y'all just held hands. Y'all just held hands of sperm and just attacked an egg.
Oh my God.
Let us in.
I can't. Oh my God.
It's really funny.
How does a twin come out? Is it two sperms together?
So,
I've never thought
okay,
about that.
So there's identical twins and fraternal twins.
Okay.
Identical is one egg, and fraternal twins are two.
I'm
eggs.
talking about sperm.
Sure. No, you're talking about eggs.
Like, was it two little spermlets
No, it's
together?
one. Me and my sister are identical, so it's one sperm.
Understood. And then you split
the
up in
one
the
egg
womb.
split. Yeah.
Okay.
And so fraternals, it takes two.
That's
It takes two to make a thing go right.
Okay.
God.
incredible.
It takes two to make it out of sight. I want to rock right now. I'm raw bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone. So, cause I get stupid, I mean outrageous.
But I'm the man. If it's good, I don't remember. But it ain't the same.
That's it right there. Zachary's
Yeah, bro.
quick on the gift with this one.
If it's,
It's one of my favorite. That song rocked so hard.
I want to rock right now.
Victor, it's gonna be listening to it all day.
I wanna rock. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. I wanna rock. It's one of the dopest beats. It's iconic, man. Iconic. Well, listen, man. It's gonna be a good day today. We're gonna make this trip down to Houston. Everybody, hey, pull up, man.
Get there. Yo,
pull
get a
up,
boat,
man.
cross the Gulf of America.
Pull
However you
up.
need to get to
If
Houston.
I can drive down 4 hours and some change, pull up. Pull up. It's all I'm asking y'all to do. Stop playing. Pull up. Stop playing and pull up. Stop playing and pull up. That's right. Stop playing and pull up. Stop playing and pull up. Play up.
Stop
play.
playing, man, and pull
Up.
up. Stop
Play.
playing, homie, and pull
Pull.
up.
Playing up. Hey, hey. Pull up.
Pull up. Pull up
Hey,
like
hey,
a
pull
huggy.
up. Hey, hey,
Pull
hey,
up,
hey,
pull
hey,
up.
hey, hey, pull up. Hey, hey. Zachary got the best gifts right now. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Love you guys. It's about that time. Another 3 hours in the bag. Can it, I mean, really? It goes this fast?
Crazy.
What are we even doing?
Life.
It's a beautiful show.
It is.
We have been wide open for y'all for another 3 hours. I have been Tim Ross. That is Derek Santiago. That is Hector Guerrero. This is Juliana Buendia Karlovich. I'm in Houston tonight. Y'all pull up. Hey.